Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Deborah F. Stanley Ice Hockey Arena. We are gearing up for another thrilling conference matchup as the Morrisville Mustangs come into town to take on the Oswego Lakers. I'm your host, Alex Chemnitzer, joined alongside by my wonderful analysts, Connor Sangus, Cole Fleming. It's an honor to be with you boys here tonight. Gentlemen, it's alumni weekend. The vibes are high. How are we feeling about tonight's matchup?
I mean, super grateful for the opportunity to be here, Alex. We've got a great matchup in store tonight between the Oswego State Lakers and the SUNY Morrisville Mustangs. I cannot wait for puck drop, Cole.
Yes, me too. It's going to be an exciting matchup out there. You got two teams who are both really rearing and ready for SUNY. First games being yesterday. I think it's going to be an exciting game.
Absolutely, Cole. Couldn't agree with you more. We kind of have a tale of two teams here tonight, gentlemen. The Mustangs are looking to get their first win of the season after a slow start this year, and the Lakers are looking to stack some wins, get some more conference points in the SUNY. So, Cole, I'm going to give it to you first. Give me a little peek into Morrisville's season so far.
Yeah, Morrisville has had a slow start to the season. As you said, winless. They're 0-4-0. They lost 2 to Arcadia University. Then they had a bad loss, 5-1 against Nazareth. And then yesterday, they fell to SUNY Canton 2-1. It was a tough-fought battle, but they just couldn't come through there.
And on the flip side, Connor, tell us a little bit about the Lakers real quick.
Well, the Lakers so far entering today's game, 3-2 record to start the season. They received a number 5 ranking earlier in the week in the SUNY polls for this week and had a number 3 ranking in the preseason. So certainly some heavy expectations for the defending number 1 seed in the SUNY playoffs last year, Oswego State Lakers.
Absolutely. There's certainly going to be a lot to look forward to in this bout, ladies and gentlemen. People say don't harp on the past, but yesterday's game between Cortland and Oswego was certainly worth going back in time for. So we're going to toss it down to our sideline reporter, Jason Rude, with details. Jason, what do you got for us about last night's game?
Thank you guys very much. Oswego women's hockey ended up picking their first SUNY points last night in their victory over the Cortland Red Dragons 3-2, but it was not an easy one. Oswego was down 2-0 off of some early breaks by the Red Dragons in the first period, but Oswego responded in the second, grabbing momentum off an early power play goal from Lee Coley that cut the deficit in half. And then that continued as Jenna Majewski ended up tying the game 2-2 with a goal off the back of the Cortland goaltender. And just minutes later, the Lakers completed the turnaround with their 3rd straight goal, heading into the final period, which is all about survival. Oswego was outshot by Cortland 35-20 on the night and controlled much of the final 20 minutes, but the Lakers' penalty kill stood tall, shutting down multiple power plays and blocking key chances late in the period. Oswego won 24 of the faceoffs, killed off 4 penalties, and as the final seconds ticked away, Oswego poised under pressure and sealed the deal, securing their first SUNY victory of the year, going 3-2 against Cortland Red Dragons. Thank you very much, and back to the Purge.
Thank you, Jason. Truly exciting stuff last night. Determined play by the Lakers, and we were actually lucky enough to sit down with Lakers defender Shay Jazeel and hear her thoughts about team experience and alumni weekend this weekend. Take a listen.
It's good. It's different, transitioning from being on the ice to being on the bench, but it's been good. It's been fun. I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm just going off of, we have worked together, the 7 of us, since last year, with 1 incoming freshman now. But I think overall, we've learned to work with each other. We communicate well. We know how to play off of each other, which I think is really good. And I think doing that and knowing that, working together, we're able to just pick it up, coming out of the defensive zone into offensive zone. So I think that overall is a positive for us. We're really excited. This is a huge weekend for us. Obviously, like Coach said, it's no different than any other game we're playing. But knowing that it's part of SUNY, it kind of, fuels a little more fire in all of us, I would say. But it's going to be a huge weekend, huge games. I think we're really excited and we're ready to put the work in.
Absolutely great stuff there from Shay Giselle. Thank you to her for the interview. And Cole, Connor, I think it's time to look at the coaching matchup for today. two experienced coaches. Cole, let's start with the home squad in the Lakers. What stands out to you the most about this Lakers coaching staff?
Of course, Mark Digby, such a key coach. He's been around since 2010. He was his seventh year as a part of the women's ice hockey program. He's 66, 33, and 5 all time. Of course, that's a big piece. Of course, bringing Lexi Levy back is interesting. One of the best goalies to ever play here. It's a good coaching staff, and it's a very experienced coaching staff who really want to push through this year with a young squad.
And over on the opponent's side for SUNY Morrisville, their head coach John Briggs. This is currently his third year as the head coach for the Mustangs. He has a 21-35 record after last night's loss to Canton. That's a .375 win percentage. Certainly not what you want. And this is before he took the head coach over here at Morrisville. He was an assistant coach over at Cortland, where they actually played their best hockey under his tutelage.
Yeah, absolutely, gentlemen. And like you say, how I mentioned earlier, a little bit of a tale of two squads. We have a head coach for the Mustangs who is trying to get some wins under his belt, try to get some more experience, connect with his players. And on the other side, we have Mark Digby hiring alumni like Lexi Levy to work with goalkeepers. It's certainly a tale of two squads, and we'll see if the Mustangs coach can develop his players a little bit more. All right, but we are going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll be sitting down with the Oswego women's hockey alumnus we just mentioned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on WTOP 10.
I would have liked to see more on, Putin or something. I don't think he's very nice.
He's so annoying, and he's not very funny either.
He got that hot dog at one time. I don't know why he would do such a thing.
I'm not sure why he's still playing a Nintendo Wii. The Nintendo Wii is so old. I've tried reporting him like 600 times, and nobody's answering my phone call.
Welcome back to the DK experience. Go back to your job.
Every NFL fan had played for the last 15 games. They beat.
Writing a letter to the NFL fans? Get out of here with that.
Let me finish. No, stop.
Johnny Manziel, that guy, he's a loser.
No, that's.
Watch the DK experience.
What we do here is go back.
Cooked! You know it's cooked when it's not raw anymore?
Gordon Ramsay in the sea here.
Cat cam.
Because Kenny pulled a picture of him.
Yeah.
Mustangs at the Oswego Lakers. I'm your host, Alex Chemnitzer, alongside Cole Fleming and Connor Sangus. And gents, let's talk a little bit about the conference now. We're starting to get into the flow of the season. Teams are starting to settle into mid-season form, and this is the time to start looking at some of the hot teams that are going to be dominant throughout the season. Who are going to be the teams to beat? So Connor, I'll start with you. Who are your contenders to watch for this year?
Well, it's got to be the defending champion Plattsburgh State Cardinals. I know right now on that screen they are currently ranked third, but they're in a massive four-way tie for first place. They were actually ranked first in the SUNY season polls, receiving 49 votes. I mean, it's clear to me that the Oswego Lakers have to slay the proverbial dragon, being the Cardinals, not the Cortland Red Dragons, who they handily took care of business last night, but beat those defending champs and finally make this conference their own.
Yeah, and other news yesterday, Potsdam was able to take down Buff State in the conference. That was a big win. coming back from 2-0, scoring with 50 seconds left to win the game. That was an exciting one. You'll see them go up in their preseason polls because they were at the very bottom to start the year. Of course, the Oswego upset over Cortland yesterday was huge, and Canton's win over Morrisville. I don't know, the conference, everyone played yesterday in the opener. It's going to be a fun season to keep checking in on.
Absolutely, Cole. An absolute horse race to start. You know, only one apiece SUNY conference, but they will settle into the season nicely. Let's go into our next segment, as Alumni Weekend has been an overarching theme here today, and we were lucky enough to hear from one of Oswego's most decorated and recent alumni turned assistant head coach, Lexi Levy. Take a listen.
It's good. You know, it's different, you know, transitioning from being on the ice to being on the bench, but it's been good. It's been fun. I'm learning a lot. Amazing coaching staff with Grace and Digby, and they're, you know, kind of putting me under their wing and allowing me to help out and, you know, help the girls in the locker room and just kind of give back with the knowledge I have. And it's going to be fun to get to see everybody, and not only my class but the previous years, and be able to talk with other people that have gone through the program and kind of their legacy and what they left and, you know, what they did here in their time, and just, you know, talk to everybody and just kind of have a good time.
Certainly a great story, and we wish Lexi Levy best of luck with her transition from starting netminder to assistant coach. Cole, Connor, we've talked a lot about alumni and this being Alumni Weekend, but let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Let's talk about some rookies. Let's talk about these new faces on the ice. There are 12 freshmen on this roster, all looking to make an impact here in Oswego. So, Cole, start us off. Who are some rookies that you are looking for here today?
I mean, there's quite a few. Alex O'Brien on that top line, along with Lauren Ricobelli, both have had great starts to the season. You have a few of these people like Georgia Cunliffe, who's come in and really stepped up in some of these games. You've got so many pieces in that forward group that are going to be huge for the Oswego Lakers going forward.
Yeah, Colin, I'm glad you mentioned Laura Ricobelli. She's currently in a massive 6-way tie for third on the team in points with 1 goal scored on the year. She's playing as a winger on the first line tonight, so clearly, even though that this is just the 5th game in her Laker career, she clearly has the trust of head coach Mark Digby, getting the majority of these minutes tonight.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of rookies, a lot of new faces, a lot of holes to fill in this roster. So it's really anybody's opportunity for the taking.
Yeah, I got to talk with Mark Digby earlier this week, and he was talking about how he's treating the freshmen as not really freshmen this year because of how big of a role they have to take. He said he's treating them like they were seniors on the team last year. And it was kind of a cool insight to hear, because he's talking about how he typically eases the freshmen into the season, but this year he didn't really have that. So it's kind of
a lot of respect from the head coach. So, boys, we are going to now, instead of rookies, we talked about alumni, and I mentioned earlier, I said don't harp on the past. That's what people say. They say look to the future. So let's look at the upcoming schedule for Oswego right now. Let's take a look at their calendar. Connor, take it away.
Yeah, Alex, Oswego's going to hit the road next week and to play 2 back-to-back away games. The first at number 8, William Smith on Friday, and then at number 5, Buff State next Saturday. Cole, what do you got for Morrisville?
Yeah, of course. You have next week you play Plattsburgh and Potsdam at home. That'll be an exciting matchup. But then SUNY play pauses for a while as we go into the winter break. So then they come up and they play Hamilton and Norwich, which both of those are really going to be a tough test for Morrisville. So I'm curious to see how those games play out.
Certainly some upcoming tests for both of these squads. We're going to throw it to a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to toss it to the gentlemen up in the Steve Levy press box. Stay where you are, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching
If it's hockey,
It's what they score!
it's on Hockey Talk.
It's on!
Join Rob Finger and his panel of guests.
Their behavior against easy teams. How do you lose to the Bruins twice?
As they take you through the hockey world.
We welcome you with open arms.
Tune into Hockey Talk, Mondays at 9:30 after East Coast hockey games. Only on WTOP.
Oh boy!
Come across.
WTOP 10's pregame coverage of the Morrisville Mustangs at the Oswego Lakers. Once again, I'm Alex Kemnitzer, joined alongside Connor Sangus and Colt Fleming. But boys, I think the people have had a little bit enough of our analysis up here for now. Let's toss it to the gentlemen up in the press box and see what they have to say about tonight's matchup. Gentlemen?
Welcome to the Steve Levy Press Box. My name is James Fitzpatrick. Alongside me, Rob Finger, for a SUNY women's hockey matchup. Here today, a matinee matchup between the Oswego State Lakers, Rob, and the Morrisville Mustangs. What are we looking for today, Rob?
So today, it's all about going to be a very uphill battle for Morrisville. They're currently 0-4 on the season so far. And the Lakers, they just brought off a big come-from-behind win against Cortland just yesterday. So a big team was Cortland. The Lakers were able to defeat them, and now Morrisville has very much a mountain to climb in front of them here.
So for today's matinee matchup, who are you looking at in the pipes today?
Yeah, so we'll start with the visiting Morrisville State Mustangs here. We're assuming it's going to be number 39, Gabby Brazeau, that's going to be in net so far. She's got a goals against average of 3.04, save percentage of 9.03 or .903 right now so far for 28 saves so far in the season. She's only had 3 goals against so far in the 59 minutes she's played, so it's a decent record so far, but she's going to have a lot to come in front of her here today. But we'll go over now to the Oswego State Lakers side of things. They're going to be relying, as always, on number 35, Mia DeVivo. She was under the wing of Lexi Levy last year. Lexi Levy coming back as an assistant coach this year after graduating last year. But she's got goals against average so far, 1.41. That is excellent for somebody like Mia DeVivo. And a 942 save percentage. She faced 33 shots yesterday, only let in 2 goals. So she's going to be a very formidable force in front of the Morrisville State Mustangs.
Absolutely. We're going to see some good goaltending here today. At least I hope so. But you talked about how it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for Morrisville into this game. For them, what players need to shine?
So I'm going to pick number 15, Meadow Clark, their captain so far. You look at the plus-minus column for the Morrisville State Mustangs, it is not a great situation, but it's a decent situation for somebody like Meadow Clark. Only a -1 so far in the plus-minus column, and she's already got 2 goals on the season, which she ties the lead with Scarlett Smith, and a shooting percentage anyway of .500. So she picks her shots, and she knows when to put a shot on. She's very good at that. So we'll see if Meadow Clark, the captain of the Morrisville Mustangs out here, can make an impact. We'll look on the side, at least for my pick for Oswego State here. I'm going number 6, Natalie Lawns. And like I said, I'm riding a little bit of that plus-minus column today. +3. She's second on the team, second only behind Georgia Cunliffe. A +3 so far in the season. Already a goal and an assist. And a .125 shooting percentage. So she puts shots on, and it's a good chance for it to go in as well.
Well, you look at this game for both teams. You don't want Oswego to kind of step off the gas a bit. And for them, a big thing for them is special teams. What are they looking for here today?
So, especially for Oswego, their number 1 goal, stay out of the box. They have given up 18 penalties so far this season. Thankfully, though, their penalty kill has been the best in the SUNYAC so far. They remain perfect, knock on wood at least. They remain perfect on the penalty kill so far through 5 games, and they've only given up 2 goals, or they've gotten 2 goals, I should say, on the power play as well. 14 penalties have been committed against them. They've scored on 2 of them, so it's a decent enough power play percentage for them. I'll go over to Morrisville then. They've committed 16 penalties and given up 2 goals themselves on that penalty kill. So only a conversion percentage of 1.125 for other teams. They themselves have been essentially committed not too many other penalties. Only 12 committed against them in the 4 games that they've played so far. But they've been able to score 3 of them. So especially when Morrisville is up a player, they have a decent chance of putting one on net.
Absolutely. Both teams need to play smart here today, Rob. Stay out of the box and make sure you really just contribute on the power plays if you get your chance to.
Absolutely. It's essentially all about smart hockey today, and that's especially going for the Lakers as well, because if they give up some of the mistakes and opportunities that they've been giving up in past games, Morrisville might get a lucky goal or 2.
Yeah, and I wanted to go back to the goaltending, too. I meant to ask you, you were at the game yesterday. You called the game for against Cortland. Mia DeVivo had a good, she had a good game. But now you're going against Morrisville where, this isn't really a huge test for you if you look at the, the score sheet. Why go back to Mia DeVivo in this one?
I'd go back to Mia DeVivo just because she's that little bit of security in net. The Oswego State Lakers women's hockey team really needs, especially in a year like this where so many people are new, they need a little bit of that security. Mia DeVivo is their security, and they've been able to rely on her pretty faithfully so far this year.
Well, that will do it from us here in the Steve Levy press box, but don't go anywhere. After this break, we're going to send it back to the boys on the perch. Then we'll be right back here for Puck Drop just in a bit.
Good evening and welcome to Jeopardy! I am your host, Joe.
Hello, Simon. Joe is at this place. And I'm very concerned to see what Piper's answer is here. Sorry, it's a 98-page rule book.
You guys are stunned still?
Joe, I'm going to sound like a little snob here. It was not founded by Ray Kroc.
So you're probably wondering why the top producer of WTOP's new hit, Oswego Liza, is currently juggling a soccer ball right now. That's just because I don't just know ball, but I can play it too. WTOP, live every other Sunday, 7 p.m. Tune in.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris.
That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Mere minutes away from puck drop between the Morrisville Mustangs and the Lakers. Let's just hop right back into it. Alex Kemnitzer, Cole Fleming, Connor Sangus. Boys, let's get right into it. Connor, who are your players to watch for the Mustangs and Lakers?
Well, for the Morrisville Mustangs, I have junior forward Avery Holland, and for the Oswego State Lakers, I have the freshman forward Georgia Cunliffe.
Yeah, for Morrisville, we're going to go Tilly Couture, and we're going to go Megan Smith for Oswego.
We'll keep an eye on those Stangs. Let's go to our final score predictions. Let's go to Connor, you first. What do you have? Who do you have winning? By how much?
I've got Oswego 2-1. Think it's going to be low scoring.
I think 3-0 Oswego.
And I got the Lakers winning this game 4-1, averaging 4. That's going to do it for us here on the porch. When we come back, it's time to let the games begin. James and Rob are on the call, and you know we're in for a good one. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Alumni Weekend Hockey right here on WTOP 10.
If you like action, romance,
If you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
Surface is this? Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn. Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
What we do here is go back.
Cooked! You know it's cooked when it's not raw anymore?
Got what Ramsey gonna say here.
Cat cam.
Because Kenny pulled a picture of him. Yeah.
Get rid of all the questions.
If it's hockey,
It's what they score!
it's on Hockey Talk. Join Rob Finger and his panel of guests
Their behavior against easy teams, how do you lose to the Bruins twice?
as they take you through the hockey world.
We welcome you with open arms.
Tune into Hockey Talk, Mondays at 9:30 after East Coast hockey games, only on WTOP.
Oh boy!
Come across fingers.
If it's hockey,
It's what they score!
it's on Hockey Talk. Join Rob Finger and his panel of guests.
Their behavior against easy teams. How do you lose to the Bruins twice?
As they take you through the hockey world.
We welcome you with open arms.
Tune into Hockey Talk, Mondays at 9:30 after East Coast hockey games. Only on WTOP.
For F. Stanley Arena, my name is James Fitzpatrick. Alongside me, Rob Finger. Lakers, Mustangs coming up shortly. Rob, what are we looking for to start this one?
Essentially, we're looking for the Lakers to really establish their dominance. If they give up too many, little mistakes, things like that, you could see a couple sneaky goals and a couple sneaky opportunities from the Morrisville State Mustangs here. So don't quite count Morrisville out of this one just yet. But the Lakers really need to get right on their horse to start this game here.
So I mentioned in the pregame show that you called the game yesterday. You were here. You did play-by-play for the women's team against their win against Portland. What, in that first period, they let up 2 goals quickly. What do they need to change immediately?
Essentially, it was all about energy. They talked about it in the little interviews that they did just after the periods. It was all an energy game, and that's essentially what they're going to have to start her off here with.
Well, the puck's in the corner. We are underway, just 15 seconds into the game here. The Lakers will break it out towards neutral ice, and now here comes a quick chance for Coley. Coley in, and a save there by Brazeau. Goes to the corner, looking to pass it back to the point. She does. Intercepted near the wall, keeping it in. Good play there. And now it's shipped up the wall, and keeping it again are the Lakers. Knocking it down, and it's finally out of the zone. Put right back into the offensive zone. And Morrisville will look to start a breakout. Chipped into the zone, no icing. It was deflected into the zone there, right behind the net of Mia DeVivo. Along the boards. Not able to get it out yet. Now it is pushed out of the zone. Here come the Lakers putting it back into the Morrisville zone behind the net of Brazeau. Morrisville looking to escape. Good forecheck by the Lakers so far here. Good aggressiveness to start this one. Along the boards. Ricavelli tried to take it away. Comes to the front. Deflected away there. Good chance for the Lakers. Now it's all the way on the boards. Brazeau makes a save there. It's still loose in front. And the Mustangs are able to escape. Off the boards, out of the zone. Now a quick chance here for Morrisville. Into the slot and a save by DeVivo. That shot was low from number 13, Scarlett Smith. Behind the net, the Lakers trying to get out of the zone. Quick breakout, and it's dumped in behind the net of Brazeau, who will stop it for her defenseman and looking to escape. Majeski knocks it down with her skate, but it went right back to Morrisville. Past the red line, dumping it in quick. Petherick looking to get it out of the zone. Good pressure on the boards by Petherick. All the way out of the zone. And good speed here from Majeski. Forechecking against the Morrisville defenseman. That's number 3, Tilly Couture. All the way back to the point. Turnover there by the Mustangs. Long shot and a glove save by Brazeau, who took a stick from Majeski. Knocked down. No retaliation. And a whistle.
Yeah, very much so. But Jenna Majeski having a couple words to say to Madison Lawrence there. And I mean, obviously Madison Lawrence, if you're her, you got to protect your goalie and something like that. And especially for a high stick like that, I don't blame her for a second.
Well, it's also Jenna Majeski. I wouldn't really mess with her either, so that is...
Not by a long shot.
Here comes Morrisville the other way in front of the Oswego bench, making moves here, getting into the zone. Is taken away by the Lakers. Up the boards, not out. Good play by Clark to keep it in. Petherick behind the net. Reverses, and the Lakers give it to Majeski. Majeski through pass, deflected off a stick, and is put right back into the Morrisville zone. Some sloppy passing here. But Nora Egri will give it behind her net. All the way up the boards, through the corner, now back behind the net. Some more sloppy passing here by Morrisville, and Wonks has it in the corner. All the way back up top. To the other side, long shot, deflected, still there, they score! It is Natalie Wonks, your player to watch. Rob starts the game up just 3 minutes into the game.
And what did I tell you, James? Natalie Lawrence, look at that. Wonderful rebound. Just tucks it right into the corner. I told you she was a player to watch. We watched her, and she delivered. Wide open net on a lucky bounce for the Lakers. Natalie Lonks gets the game started here. 1-0 Oswego. They look to add another. Lonks trying to put it back into the zone. Here is Jaziel flipping it, trying to hit Lonks. Taken away. And the Lakers still forechecking hard. Behind the net, it is number 4, Georgia Cunliffe. She scored yesterday the game-winning goal that happened in the third period, and Cunliffe is taken she gets down. wrestled down here, man.
Some heavy play there by Lawrence for Morrisville. Still along the boards, no whistle, says the referee in front of the Laker bench. They're getting on a change as Demers puts it deep and goes for a change. Lawrence will have it behind her net. Let's see how good the forecheck here is for Oswego again. Some pressure all the way up the boards. Pinty is able to keep in. Pinty whiffed on it, and it is cleared all the way out of the zone where Leah Coley will have it. Leah Coley, another goal scorer from yesterday's 3-2 victory, and now the Lakers look to add another. Back to the middle, and a save, rebound, still there, and Brazeau is able to dive on top of it.
Yeah, but what an opportunity for the Oswego State Lakers. That was a 3-on-1 that you just saw right there. Brazeau, she's got to be breathing a sigh of relief that she was able to come up with that one. Yeah, just look at that, just diving on top of that puck, and a gaggle of about 4 or 5 players all around her there, but she's able to come up with the save and keep it at only a 1-0 game.
And just 4:15 into the game, that's already the 4th save for Brazeau to start this one. Morrisville looking to attack. Past the red line. Losing it. Good pressure by the Lakers. D to D. Coley can't get it out. Good pressure by Morrisville in the corner. Intercepted by the Lakers. That was Kayla Dorr. All the way out to the neutral zone. And that's where Johnson will take over. Flipping it back the other way for Clark. Clark whiffs on it. A little pick play there, but the Lakers are able to come away with it. Here comes the counterattack. It is all the way down the ice. No icing, says the linesman. Maybe Brazeau might have negated that coming out of her net a little bit. And the Lakers still have it in the offensive zone. They're going to put it deep. Here is Clark battling in the corner. That was Lauren Ricobelli who was there as well. And Morrisville is able to come away with it. Johnson up the boards. Bad pass. Petherick to her other defenseman. Petherick has it back, and it went off her skate and all the way down, where Mia DeVivo will look to stop it and give it to her defenseman. And no, she actually flips it all the way up for Lauren Ricobelli. Good play there by DeVivo. Into the zone. Parenti knocked down, and Couture is able to flip it around the boards. Clark still battling and still not out. Finally, it is chipped off the boards and out of the zone. Glove down by the Lakers, and they will take over, flipping it towards the middle, not past the red line, and it's all the way back deep. And that's where the Lakers will take over. Ricobelli, a little touch pass intercepted, and it'll go right behind the net of Mia DeVivo. Number 12, Julia Power, all the way up the boards, not out. Good pressure by Morrisville. Petherick flips it up the boards. This one is chipped all the way out. No icing, and Couture will have to retrieve it. Couture, long pass, knocked down with a high stick, and there will be a whistle.
Yeah, and Jenna Majewski, or Majeski, I should say, apologies. She essentially knew exactly that was going to happen. That happened right in front of her, and she's like, "Oh, all right, that's a whistle." And she already was on her way into the offensive zone here, but already the Lakers putting on a decent bit of pressure. They're up in the shot column, only 5-1 so far in the shot column. We're only about 7 minutes in here.
And offensive zone face-off, the Lakers are able to control. Morrisville trying to get out of the zone, up the boards and out of the zone. Rob, I wanted to add one little thing. You might be more knowledgeable on this than me, but I was looking in the pregame. Oh, and takeaway. Here's a breakaway for Morrisville, and they score! Avery Holland took it away in neutral ice, and Morrisville ties the game.
Avery Holland, the junior from Plattsburgh, a transfer from Cortland. And those two ghosts just haunting the Lakers again. A big opportunity. Look at this, all alone. Picks that left side of the net. the left side of her, the right side on the screen, just is able to beat DeVivo all alone. And yeah, like I said, watch out for those real sneaky goals.
Yeah, it was a good neutral zone takeaway by Holland, and the Lakers a little too casual to start this one, as Smith will take over and flip it all the way down the ice. That's where we'll get an icing. That's where I'll be able to finish my question. I was looking the pregame, and when did the Lakers start playing the whiteout games? Because I was looking, and I believe yesterday was the first full sweep by the Oswego in full, the men's and women's, for whiteout weekend.
For whiteout weekend, I believe it was the same. I'm trying to think if it was last year that was the same thing, because the Lakers beat Plattsburgh the next day. The women's team played the Plattsburgh State Cardinals women's team the very next day after the whiteout game for the men, and they beat Plattsburgh in that one as well. So it might have happened last year as well, but in the 20 years, you know, these, as we over in the far side there, Katie DeMars getting her stick caught, and number 3, Tilly Couture, as another shot comes. But like I said, it's last year I believe it came too, and in the 20 years that this new Lakers team has been able to play, they've been very, very successful, only just joining, you know, women's SUNY in the past couple of years and going very far in those playoffs in the past couple of years here.
Well, on record, it did say that they tied against Plattsburgh, so that's why that long shot, and a good save there by Brazeau. Another shot just went wide, and that's why I thought maybe that might have been the first full sweep. It might have been an overtime victory, which might not have counted towards the record. Petherick walking in with a shot and a save by Brazeau.
Yeah, I believe it was a shootout situation last year. They tied it in, I believe, the second period. Just 2 goals in about 30 seconds, if I'm remembering correctly. But like I said, they were able to tie it. It went to a shootout, I believe, and then that's where Oswego won it, technically, in their barn in a shootout.
Makes sense. Coming out of the zone, it's chipped right off the boards and all the way down. Whiteout weekend is just such a fun topic to talk about, the historic behind it for not only the men's and the women's teams. You had that documentary on it that was aired right before the second period, I believe, for our men's game yesterday.
Oh, very much. And that documentary, I mean, it goes a lot into, you know, the men's rivalry, but there is very much a women's rivalry too. You saw it in the SUNY Championship last year, and in all the games that the women's team played against the Plattsburgh State Cardinals last year. It was always a very close thing. You know, Plattsburgh, just whether on the women's side or the men's side, has always almost been the foil for Oswego here.
Well, we are past whiteout right now. We're now in alumni weekend, as this one is coming all the way up top to Shea Jazeel. She'll flip it to our other side. Van Dam's putting it down low, and Parenti will control. Parenti looking for someone to pass to. Towards the middle, flipping on her backhand, wide of the net. London all the way back up top. Jazeel looking for London again. Flipping it back for Jazeel. Jazeel with a shot and a save by Brazeau. On the left side, might have hit her pad. Down low, O'Brien protecting, looking to shield it and give it back for London. London looked up top for Jazeel. She was covered. She's got to pin herself against the board and give it back down for O'Brien. O'Brien in a board pin, 2-on-2. Bodies flying on top of the puck. Doesn't seem like a whistle's coming, and London is able to dig it out herself, but Morrisville is able to take it away, and it's a 3-on-2 the other way, and the odd man rush will be killed off as an injury for Morrisville. That's number 15, Meadow Clark, in the corner.
Yeah, that's their captain, Meadow Clark, down in the near corner here. And yeah, you got to wonder what's going on as we get some medical professionals out onto the ice to tend to her here. And boy, oh boy, it just, especially that huge board battle that happened in that near corner, it was this whole situation of just, it's very much a physical game, especially on the women's side where, you know, you do have penalties for body checking, things like that. That doesn't mean that it's not physical. It is incredibly physical, arguably I'd say even more physical than the men's side, because you don't necessarily have as much of the speed aspect as you have on the men's side. This is very much old school, like clutch and grab hockey. You get that sort of grittiness. You get that sort of like, you need to rub off a player either with like just a little bit of a rub of the shoulder or just a little bit of a pin to the boards, something like that. And that's just a little bit of a product of the hockey that is put in front of us here during these women's games.
And we hope Meadow Clark is okay. We're going to look at a replay here. It's not the injury we're looking at, that a few highlights here.
Yeah, as Meadow Clark will get up, so she'll skate, thankfully, under her own power back to the benches here as we look through a quick scoring and shooting replay and just the onslaught that's come up against Gabby Brazeau. And she's dealt with it fairly decently so far, so only letting in one so far.
And a few good chances for both teams to start this one just under 10 minutes in. This faceoff will come to the neutral zone. It was good to see Meadow Clark skating to the bench. For what I saw, I thought it might have been a lower body injury involving a skate injury. And now Iverson into the zone, but it is good to see she got up under her own power and skate back to the bench.
I'll predict she'll probably be back about second period or so.
I would hope so. Here is Pinty to the other side. Long shot deflected wide, comes in front, and it is called a hand pass on, it looks like Oswego, and it'll be a face-off to the right of Brazeau.
Yeah, I think one of the players in front, whether that been Jenna Majeski or Fiona Sierens, might have just batted it a little bit with their hand. They tried to get it with the stick, but, you know, when it hits up into your hand regions, they just got to call that.
Off the face-off, comes all the way back up top. Coley flipping it all the way down low. That's where Couture will play it all the way up the boards. A little bounce, an unlucky bounce for Morrisville as two bodies collide for them. Goes back to the middle, and that's where Morrisville was able to get it out of the zone. Not for long, as Majeski's able to flip it right back into the zone. Here's Couture. Up top for Egri. Egri off the boards. Majeski was changing, so that gives Egri a good outlet. The whistle blows as we will get a stoppage in play.
Yeah, we'll have a neutral zone face-off here. One of the first of the game so far. Allows both teams to get just a few new skaters on the ice here. Some fresh legs, especially as we come halfway through the first period here. Morrisville, they're still very much in this, so even though they haven't quite been able to get as much offense going as the Lakers have, look for those sneaky opportunities.
All the way down low. Good intercept there.
Oh.
On the corner, and bodies flying.
Yeah, Amelia Lomas thankfully able to get back up on her feet.
You get to see no injury there like we saw earlier. Wongs couldn't handle that pass, and it'll be Bovey all the way up the boards. Another body flying, and now here's a chance for Morrisville if they can get to the puck, but a good play by Petherick to get to it first. Lakers look to counter on the right boards. Intercepted by Spears, and her pass back to her defenseman. There was no defenseman there. It goes all the way on goal. Brazeau has to cover up, and it'll be a face-up to her left.
Yeah, especially for Brazeau, you don't want to take any risks, especially in a close game like this. Lakers still out shooting the Morrisville State Mustangs here 8-3, so Morrisville has gotten their opportunities, just you don't want to take any chances for the Lakers to get an opportunity.
All the way back up top, Van Dam keeps it in. Down low, intercepted by the Mustang defenseman, and Couture will play it up the boards. Good play by Jazeel to keep it in. She'll control, gives it down low in the corner. Lakers still with the puck. Behind the net of Brazeau. Back up top looking for Jazeel. The pass missed, and Van Dam will regroup. Van Dam across the red line, making moves. Another good move by Van Dam, but it was taken away by number 19, Zoe Lees. Intercepted by the Lakers again. Coley down low, and it's whiffed on by Van Dam. She still got a shot off and went wide on her backhand. Van Dam trying to tuck it in. It's still there. Brazeau has to sit down and cover.
Ooh, Kayla Dory, though, getting into it.
Yeah, more rough stuff after the whistle. Might have been a few pokes on Brazeau. Now they'll separate.
Yeah, but I do have to point out a good thing as we see a quick opportunity here. That opportunity right there was all because of Elizabeth Cooley. She was able to just keep it in at the blue line and able to get her, and I believe that was Helen Van Dam as well, to get that opportunity on net. It was just a little factor of not being able to get the shot off, not being able to put one in, especially on a rebound like that. That's just a huge missed opportunity for the Lakers as we now get two people in the box here. Kayla Dory and number 26, Madison Lawrence, the two of them having a little bit of a scuffle in front of the net of Brazeau. So we'll have, I believe the referees are kind of deliberating here whether they want an offensive zone face-off, and yeah, they'll send it into the Morrisville zone here.
Well, it's good to see from the Lakers in a game like this where they're kind of projected to win. We kind of went over that Morrisville is having a little bit of a rough year. They're going after those loose pucks in the crease. They're not letting up. They want to win this game. They're going to play hard for it.
Especially when you're tied like this, you don't want to take any chances. You don't want to leave anything on the table.
In the corner, it's put up the boards. Pinty knocks it down and is able to put it behind the net again. Parenti flipping it the other way. Ricabelli was in front of the net, not behind the net. Couldn't get to that puck, but Ricabelli is able to get it to Pinty. Pinty all the way to Ricabelli. A shot low and a save by Brazeau. And it's flipped away by the Mustangs. Here they come on the counterattack. A 2-on-2 into the offensive zone. Smith, a good move. What a move and a save by DeVivo. Coley up the boards. Couldn't get it out. Coley knocks it down with her skate. And now it's behind the net of DeVivo again in the corner. Coley playing it up. Missed her pass, and it's going to go all the way down. Not far enough for an icing, though. Caitlin Ruve all the way up into the zone. Couture put it in there. Van Dam, the Lakers captain, starting the play up again. Here is Natalie Lonks, the Lakers goal scorer. That pass missed. Jazeel. Shea Jazeel, pressure on her back. She's able to kick it away, and then Couture got knocked down by her own teammate, and now it's a 3-on-2 for the Lakers the other way. Van Dam comes in alone, and a save by Brazeau.
Yeah, and I think a couple of the Mustangs got a little bit distracted by what was going on over by their own bench. It was a bit of physicality between Avery Holland being, I believe, the victim of it, as, just getting a little bit enraged by the Lakers over by the bench. Meanwhile, the Lakers are going the other way with an opportunity.
Off the faceoff, Van Dam puts it back up top. Jazeel to Van Dam. That pass missed, went right through the legs of Van Dam.
Yeah, you really got to connect on those just little buddy passes like that. That's one of those mistakes that'll easily lead to an opportunity the other way.
And it seems like those are the mistakes they've been making so far. It's just been sloppy passing to start this one. In the corner, Lakers still controlling. All the way up top, looking to shoot. She does, and a save by Brazeau. It's still loose, and Brazeau gets it now. That shot came from number 4, Georgia Cunliffe.
Yeah, and Georgia Cunliffe, I mean, talk about a player who came out of nowhere. At the start of this season, I don't think anybody necessarily thought anything of Georgia Cunliffe. As we take a look at the replay here, a big shot coming from her. And Brazeau just having a scramble to cover that. But like I said about Georgia Cunliffe, people didn't really think anything about her. Now, she's one of the top players in the Lakers.
Power shoots, and that one sailed high. Petherick down low, flipping it along. Good play by Petherick to keep it alive. Cunliffe turns and shoots. It was blocked. All the way up top, kept in by Power. Flipping it down low, taken away by the Mustangs. Bodies flying, and now the Mustangs have a chance, and that pass didn't connect. Turning back the other way, here come the Lakers. A rush here for Natalie Lonks. Lonks down low, and it hit the side of the net. It's still loose, and Brazeau couldn't get to it, and the Lakers still keep it alive. All the way back up, Pinty. Pinty playing with it, now gives it to Coley. Coley down low, that one deflected and went over the net. In the corner again on the boards, flipping it to Cooley. Elizabeth Cooley all the way up top. Lakers still possessing it here. In the middle, a save by Brazeau. In the corner again, Holland. Back up top. Dore took it away, put it down low. To the right of Brazeau, back down low for Cooley again. Elizabeth Cooley, all the pressure for the Lakers. Down low for Pinty. Pinty being pressed up. Holland was there to help. In the corner again, Cooley. Cooley back up top, and a save by Brazeau. Cleared away by Couture. Cooley turning with it. Cooley shoots, and it went wide. Pinty put it down low again. It was blocked by Couture, who seems like she's all over the ice. She made a move to get it to Holland, and she still couldn't get it out. O'Brien took it away. Bodies tired for Morrisville. They've been on the ice for a while. On the boards, Van Dam trying to keep it in. Taken by that is Parenti. Parenti all the way up top. Back for the pass down low into the middle, and a save by Brazeau. That was Pinty with the shot, and they finally get it out. not long enough for an icing, and Morrisville will finally get a change.
Yeah, and one of the things that I'm noticing here, especially on the side of Morrisville, when the Lakers are deep in the zone, as they send it right back in, the Morrisville State Mustangs aren't clearing out those people that sometimes set up right in front of Gabby Brazeau. As here comes another one.
Majeski had a great chance. Brazeau, another save.
Here's the thing, though. Was that in her glove? Or where was that? Because Brazeau just fell into the net with her glove in the net. Here we take a look at the replay. Yeah, her glove is fully in that net. Was that puck in her glove?
It might have been sitting in front of her. It looked like she might have stopped it with her chest and her stomach area and maybe fell in front of her and she closed off with her legs.
I was about to say, she fell back like a gunshot. Man.
Oh, when Majeski runs into you, I think anyone would. Here is Majeski down low, and she scores! What a shot on the blocker side. Jenna Majeski makes it 2-1 Lakers.
And just so nonchalant about it, Jenna Majeski comes home. We'll take a look at that replay. Just tucks it right upstairs where Mama hides the cookies. Wow, what a shot that was.
Hit the bottle on top of the net. Oh, disrespect to Brazeau. What a shot by Jenna Majeski. And it's 2-1 Oswego. Van Dam looking to chase it down. In the corner, being pressured by Tani Barger, the only, at least what I've noticed, the only Mustang without a name on the back of her jersey. Taken away, and it's dumped in by Couture. Van Dam looking to chase it down in the corner, and the Lakers are able to come out with it, and Majeski will have it, flipping it back. And here come the Lakers into the offensive zone. Jazeel on the boards, all the way down low, missing Iverson, and Mustangs are able to chip it out of the zone and move along. Back on the boards, and the Lakers couldn't take advantage of that. Here come Morrisville the other way. Down low, and a save by DeVivo. A good chance there for Morrisville to tie the game. It's shipped all the way down. Then Johnson could have knocked that one down, says the linesman. It's not going to be an icing. All the way around the boards. Holland tripping up a Laker there to keep the puck in. Still in the offensive zone for Oswego, and Oswego will come away with the puck. Down low, here is Lonks. Flipping it along, the cycle continues for Oswego, all the way back up top for Petherick. Petherick a long shot and a save by Brazeau. Her 16th of the game. Down low, and that one just missed. Petherick behind the goal, looking to keep the pressure going. Morrisville still couldn't get it out of the zone, and it's still not out of the zone. Great pressure by the Lakers all the way back up top, and it's still not out of the zone. Elizabeth Cooley with it. Cooley turning back up top. Long shot blocked away, and it's chipped off the boards and out. Lakers regroup back into the zone. Here is Elizabeth Cooley. A long shot blocked. Rebound, Pinty couldn't keep it alive. Chipped back into the zone. Here's Cooley. Cooley in front. They score! Megan Smith off a great pass by Elizabeth Cooley, and it's 3-1 Lakers.
Now that was textbook. Look at that. Passed across, put right in backdoor. Megan Smith, how do you do? That was textbook. You cannot write it better than that.
The 20th shot of the period for Oswego. Gets past Brazeau, and it's been all Lakers so far here in this first period. And they'll control it again. Pinty playing it through the middle. Knocked down by Couture, and it's put back into the Lakers zone where Coley will come up with it. Leah Coley skating with it by herself, put all the way up the boards, and that pass to Couture, flipping it along. Here's Smith. Smith to Lomas. Lomas was knocked down, a hard hit from behind, and Coley will have it on the other side with a minute to go here in the first period. All the way up the boards, knocked down, and it went into the Morrisville bench.
Yeah, and that was Kayla Dory and number 26, Madison Lawrence. They're still feuding a little bit with some physicality. We saw them go into the box at the same time earlier in this period, and there might be a little bit of bad blood still remaining from that little scuffle they had.
Yes, we've seen some physicality so far in this one. Jazeel all the way up the boards, and it will be an icing on Oswego.
Yeah, we'll send it all the way back down into the Lakers' end here. And, I mean, it's a 3-1 game so far. The Lakers have certainly picked up their offense over about the past, I'd say, 5 or so minutes. But still, don't count Morrisville out of that. We've seen just the odd man rushes that Morrisville has been able to generate in this game. And it really could be a killer for the Lakers if they don't continue this momentum.
Into the Morrisville zone. The Lakers looking to attack once more with 30 seconds to go in the period. All the way across Van Dam. Van Dam turning, looking for a smart play to pass to. And it goes down low, and Van Dam will get the puck back. Flipping it behind. O'Brien looking for it. Taken away by Morrisville. Back to the middle. Parenti down low, and Brazeau has to make the save.
Ooh.
Some more pushing and shoving, and that'll die off. Holland and O'Brien were there.
Yeah, and that was Avery O'Holland putting a couple of hands in Alex O'Brien's face. I mean, yeah, protect your goalie, but especially if you're going up high like that, you might be stretching it a little bit. Let's take another look at it. Yeah, and look at that, just giving a little bit high up with the stick on that one.
Yes, a lot of poking after the whistle from the Lakers so far in this one, really disturbing Brazeau here in this first period.
And you got to understand, if you're Morrisville, you got to be a little bit mad at something like that.
Into the zone, Holland couldn't play it along. 3 seconds to go in this first period, and that will do it. The Lakers with a 3-1 lead after the first period. What do you think, Rob?
Honestly, this is a game that still Morrisville could very much come back to. The Lakers really cannot keep their foot off of the gas for long, or else Morrisville is going to be taking advantage of those, lapses in play, lapses in passing, especially just those D-to-D passes going along the blue line or in the neutral zone, stuff like that. That is what's leading to those odd man rushes that sends Morrisville down the other way and putting shots on Mia DeVivo.
Well, the Lakers with a 3-1 lead after the first period with the shots 21-5 in favor of Oswego. But don't go anywhere. Right after the break, the boys on the perch will wrap it all up right after this break here on WTOP 10.
I would have liked to see more on, Poutine or something. I don't think he's very nice.
He's so annoying, and he's not very funny either.
He got that hot dog at one time. I don't know why he would do such a thing.
I'm not sure why he's still playing a Nintendo Wii. The Nintendo Wii is so old. I've tried reporting him like 600 times, and nobody's answering my phone calls.
Welcome back to the DK experience. Go back to your job.
Every NFL fan had played for the last 15 games. Maybe.
Writing a letter to the NFL fans? Get out of here with that.
Joe,
let me finish.
No,
let me finish.
Stop.
Johnny Manziel? That guy, he's a loser.
No, that's...
Watch the DK experience.
What we do here is go back.
Cut!
You know it's cooked when it's not raw anymore.
Gordon Ramsay gonna save you.
Cat cam.
Because Kenny pulled a picture of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And welcome back to WTOP 10 with first period coverage at your first intermission. Just some absolutely nice saves, as you can see on your screen by Mavivo. And wow, the Lakers really put their mark, put their stamp on this first period, going up 3-1 in the first period. Certainly testing out freshman goalkeeper on Morrisville Mustangs early. Just some nice goals, everybody getting involved. Gentlemen, I want to hear your thoughts after this first period. What do you think?
I mean, what a dominant offensive period for the Lakers when you could throwing 21 shots on goal to the true freshman Gabby Brazeau. I mean, I honestly feel super bad for Gabby. She's been hung out to dry by her defense. And I mean, the Morrisville Mustangs are certainly lucky that it's only a 3-1 game at this point. They're on pace to give up 60 total shots on goal. I mean, that's a stat pretty much unheard of, Cole.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, high event first period for Oswego's offense. We still saw a few defensive issues, great pass breakup, Morrisville. They do really well, and they have all season of capitalizing on their chances. So they're going to be looking for more of those. And on top of that, just Oswego getting pucks to net, getting bodies to net. I thought they were very efficient, very aggressive this period, and it obviously worked out very well for them.
Absolutely, Cole. And that just comes from the possession that Oswego had that entire period. You know, they were possessing in their offensive zone beautifully. They got really good chances. There were a few chances where, you know, they had shots where they had numbers, 3-on-2s that, you know, they might not have capitalized on. If they did capitalize on them and they come out in the second period capitalizing on them, this could look like a much bigger gap. But I want to talk about real quick, your guys as players to watch on both sides worked out completely well. I mean, your player to watch for the Mustangs, your player to watch for Oswego. Great calls there.
Yeah, I mean, for the Mustangs, I'll start with my player to watch, Avery Holland. She converts on the breakaway opportunity and scores her second goal of the year. And a little statistic here, both goals that Oswego actually gave up to Cortland last night came on the breakaway. So the breakaway is an issue for this Oswego defense. You heard Rob Finger mentioning it before we went to break on the press box, but those D-to-D passes at that blue line, the Lakers are doing a terrible job there, and it's leading to some very easy one-on-one scoring opportunity chances for the Morrisville Mustangs. Certainly something that they want to clean up if they want to hold on to this lead, Cole.
Yeah, my player to watch, Megan Smith. She hasn't been looking great to start the season. Only 1 point on the year, a -3 on ice. It's been kind of a rocky start. I thought she was going to really come into today with something to prove. And she got that goal first of the season. That's got to really relax the muscles and really kind of push her forward for the rest of the year. I think that'll be great for getting the confidence back and really getting the ice time flowing.
Huge weight off of her chest for sure, Cole. And Connor, to your point, those little lapses of passes and judgment, you know, that are allowing the Mustangs to, you know, get these one-on-one opportunities, because only 5 shots on goal for the Mustangs, and one of them's a goal because, you know, struggling pass at the blue line. Now that Oswego has this 3-1 lead, they have insurance goals and they have the opportunity to be in the driver's seat. They cannot let up. They cannot start playing down to an opponent. This is still a conference opponent, and you know, as soon as you make a couple more of those mistakes, we're looking at a completely different game. So if you are Coach Digby, what are you telling your players right now in the locker room?
Well, if I'm Coach Digby, I'm referencing the exact game that we saw last night. Portland had a 2-goal lead after that first period, let their foot off the gas. We always say on this broadcast, a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. They took their foot off the gas pedal, could not get it back on. The Lakers will end up putting up 3 unanswered goals in the second period yesterday and holding on to win 3-2. So if I'm head coach Mark Digby, keep your foot on the gas. You do not want to allow Morrisville to have any chance, any sense of belief that they could come back here.
Yeah.
And Cole, on the flip side, if you're the coach for the Mustangs right now, what are you saying to your girls in the locker room?
Take a deep breath. Really, you're trying to reset now. You're come out, they were really putting pressure on you, and you're really going to be stepping in. You're going to want them to just have some more control, have some more just, you know, all of that, and really make sure they're putting defense first. You still have 40 minutes left in this hockey game. you really want to make sure you're not giving up anything. And Oswego has shown that they will commit penalties and they will give you opportunities. So you're kind of just waiting it out. Allow no more goals, play really solid defense, and then use your opportunities and really capitalize on those opportunities.
Absolutely. Let the game come to you. Allow them to make mistakes. And I also want to point out that Morrisville got off to a really sluggish start, and Oswego was really taking advantage of being physical early, allowing them to settle in and really dominate the time of possession. And we talked a little bit about it behind the scenes, but Morrisville's got to be exhausted. I mean, coming out of a back-to-back, both teams are off a back-to-back, but Morrisville had to travel. They were in Canton last night, 2.5-hour drive, as we did our quick little research. And Morrisville is just, it looks like it's apparent on the ice. So how do you think Morrisville can change that energy coming into the second period? Are they just doomed from the start because they're tired? What do they do, Connor?
Well, I hate to just say that they're doomed, but when you look at their overall roster, Alex, they're missing a fourth line and they're missing a third defenseman pairing. So that's 5 extra skaters that the Lakers have on this Morrisville hockey team. And I mean, you could sort of, in looking at the amount of bodies on both benches, it's clear just how many more bodies these Lakers have.
Yeah, no, I would really think they're going to have to try and bide their time, really step back, really let Oswego do all of the work themselves and really capitalize on those opportunities, like I said. But, I mean, you had the injury scare with Meta Clark early on, that captain defense player, and then a defense player went into the box for Morrisville, and you were looking at almost, for a little while, having to have 2 defensemen on the ice max. And it was a little bit of a scare. Luckily, Meadow Clark was able to come back. She looks much better. She looks almost like she wasn't hurt at all. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how Morrisville comes out with down players, down 2 goals, and just already looking tired.
Yeah, a lack of personnel plus a long drive usually is a recipe for disaster. But we'll see how the Mustangs pull it out. Saves, on the other hand, I mean, great work from the keepers. Great work. Freshman goalkeeper Gabby Brazeau. I mean, you know, one of the keys to the game for the Lakers coming into it was probably test out. This is her first collegiate career game. So let's test out a freshman keeper early. And on the flip side, I mean, we talked about Lexi Levy, you know, mentoring this next generation of goalkeepers. So, Connor, give me a little bit more about that, about Mavivo.
Yeah, you mentioned Lexi Levy, and a little interesting stat, DeVivo was actually Levy's backup last year, and she only started 1 game. So the majority of these back-to-backs from last year were started by Levy, so she certainly has a ton of experience in the preparation, the recovery aspect. So I totally wouldn't be surprised if Lexi Levy sat down with Mia DeVivo even before yesterday's game and just talked to her about how you approach starting 2 games in 2 days, and especially just the fact of them being home, these Lakers getting to sleep in their own beds last night. I think that plays a big factor as well.
Huge factor. And Cole, give me a little bit about what Brazeau must be feeling between the posts right there as her first game.
It's kind of a little bit of a letdown. She played really well all period, saved 16 of the first 17 shots. Oswego tagged those 2 at the very end of the period, last 4 minutes. So it has to be just a little bit like just frustrating. Played really well, kind of got a little unlucky. Defense let her down just a little bit. Just too many big opportunities in front of the net. Can't save them all. But I was really impressed how she played. She was very composed. Looked very confident in net for her first ever start at the collegiate level.
Yeah, absolutely. She was putting her body on the line, diving for pucks. Like, she clearly wants this job, and I think that her defensive line, while depleted, needs to give her some more help. But that's going to do it for us right here on The Perch. When we come back, we will begin the second period between the Morrisville Mustangs and the Oswego Lakers. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Alumni Weekend on WTOP 10.
Good evening and welcome to Jeopardy! I am your host, Joe.
Hello, Sidemen.
Joe is at this place. And I'm very concerned to see what Piper's answer is here. Sorry, it's a 98-page rule book.
You guys are stumped still?
Joe, I'm going to sound like a little snob here. It was not founded by Ray Kroc.
So you're probably wondering why the top producer of WTOP's new hit, Oswego Liza, is currently juggling a taco ball right now. That's just because I don't just know ball, but I can play it too. WTOP, live every other Sunday, 7 p.m. Tune in.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Crits.
Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
And my name is James Fitzpatrick. Alongside me, Rob Finger. We look here at Jenna Majeski's family, the goal scorer for the Lakers here today. Look at her goal right here, Rob.
Yeah, and what a goal that was there by Jenna Majeski. We just saw it from that replay, and you got to think the Lakers are going to come out with that sort of energy here in the second period. It's a little bit too close for comfort here, I'd say.
And how about the Majeski family coming out, see 2 goals in 2 games for Jenna?
Absolutely. I mean, hey, she's been all dominant. Let's just admit it. She's been completely dominant for these Oswego State Lakers. There's a good reason that we keep mentioning her in the pregame show and in our broadcast. It's because she is that good.
She is a star here for the Lakers, as always, putting that goal top shelf past the blocker of Brazeau in the first period. But what are we looking for here in the second period for both teams, Rob?
For both teams, it's, I'd say, a continuation of energy for the Lakers, and it's pouncing on opportunities for Morrisville. The Lakers are bound to give up more opportunities than they'd like here, so we'll see what exactly happens.
Well, here is a chance here for the Lakers in the offensive zone. Taking it away was number 20, Kayla Dorr. But Holland escapes for Morrisville. Morrisville, I'd say, definitely has to do a better job in the defensive zone. There's too much puck chasing or puck watching and too many open players for Oswego.
Yeah, especially, I mean, if you're Morrisville, let Oswego play it around the outside. If you can force them to take shots from the outside, from shallow angles, things like that, you have a good enough goaltender in between the pipes who's able to take care of those shots. Make them make a shot. Don't let them in, because that's exactly what's netted them those few goals here today.
If they can just force shots, get a block, and just escape the zone, live another day, I think that is the goal for the Mustangs here in the second period.
Yeah, and especially if we're talking like systems, things like that, I'd say a box and one in the defensive zone would very much benefit Morrisville going forward.
Well, Morrisville might have just gotten away with a trip there. Head coach of the Lakers does not like the missed call there, but it'll be an icing on Oswego instead.
Yeah, Mark Digby there on the Laker bench, and yeah, especially with something like this. You've had a couple penalties so far in this game, but it's not quite to the point. One of the linesmen hits the deck there off the faceoff, but nonetheless, we play on.
Here is Clark in neutral ice for the Mustangs, looking to start up another offensive zone rush here. Turns it over right to Leah Coley. And now here come the Lakers the other way. It's a 2-on-1. She's got Majeski in front, and Parenti's pass wouldn't get through. All the way out to neutral ice. and put back into the Lakers zone. That's where Tilly Petherick will come up with it. Majeski through for O'Brien. That pass missed. And Clark couldn't handle that play. Neither could Majeski as Parenti goes flying to the ice. Gets up slowly and heads up back to her bench. Majeski, touch pass to the middle for Iverson. It was deflected away all the way up top. Iverson coming away with it. The Lakers having a rough time here trying to get it into the offensive zone.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, it's something to essentially show for Morrisville. You're able to essentially force the Lakers to sort of creep back into their own zone, essentially turtle a little bit in their own end. But here, let's see if Morrisville can maybe keep the Lakers at bay here in their own end.
Jaziel puts it down low. Iverson couldn't come up with that one. Lawrence all the way around the boards and out of play off the glass.
Yeah, we'll have our first souvenir of the day here over by the section over by the family of Jenna Majeski there on the far side, as it looks like a little Lakers fan will grab that one. So a nice little game puck, nice little souvenir to leave the Deborah F. Stanley Arena with.
Off the face-off, Morrisville comes away with it, flips it into their own bench. It'll be another offensive zone face-off here for the Lakers, and that's just a mistake by Morrisville.
Yeah, and especially when you're trying to just tip it and up and out of the zone like that, you know, chip it high and out. You got to chip it very early, and when you're trying to get it out of the zone here, when you're trying to get your breakout, if you see yourself hitting the hash marks, hitting the top of the circle, you got to get it off the glass or else it's going right in your own bench.
The Lakers trying to come away with the puck here. Morrisville will instead all the way up the boards. The Mustangs have a chance to get out of the zone. They do, but it's turned over right to Natalie Lunks, the first goal scorer of the game for Oswego. Loses it and gets it right back. Battling for it, and Clark is able to knock it away, but only momentarily, and it'll be put back up top for Van Dam. That one was deflected in front. Morrisville able to come away with it. Here is Holland all the way back deep. DeVivo knocks it away and gives it to Shea Jaziel. Jaziel, long pass, stretch pass, and here comes Demers. Demers, stick lifted from behind. Good play there by Madison Lawrence. And Morrisville can't get it out. A bad pass there. Demers intercepts. To the other corner, here is Majeski. Jana Majeski using her big body to knock it away. Has Lawrence at a headlock, and Coley's pass wouldn't go. It goes all the way down near Mia DeVivo, who will steer it behind her net. Morrisville in front, and a save by DeVivo.
Wow,
a miscue by the Lakers.
Yeah, wow, that was a huge opportunity for Morrisville. And thankfully, Mia DeVivo's blocker will come up clutch in that opportunity. But especially if you're the Lakers, you really got to watch out for those. Like I said, sneaky opportunities. They come and they go.
All the way across. Here is Parenti knocking it through for London. London has it back. Clark didn't want to get that one. And London steering with it. Looking for a play to make. All the way on the boards. Gives it up top for Parenti. Reaching for it. Clark is able to grab it. Flip it on her backhand. Goes back for her defenseman, who will skid it out. That is Clark putting it through. Good move. Here's a chance. A shot and a save by DeVivo. It's still there. Clark couldn't put it on goal. Now the Lakers are able to break out. It's a chance here if they hurry. Here's Power along the boards, being pressured from behind. Loses the puck. Morrisville able to clear it all the way down. Racing for it, and now it's a breakaway. Jaziel couldn't get back, and DeVivo had to make a save. That was number 12, Nora Egri, with the chance on the breakaway. And a good play by Shea Jaziel on the back check.
Yeah, very much so. Able to stay on her back. We'll take another look at it. Just right there, right on her back. She gets the shot off, though, but she makes it essentially at the top of the circle in the hash marks. So it's, you know, far enough away for Mia DeVivo to make the save.
I apologize. I was actually wrong. It was Megan Smith who came back on that breakaway. Good job by Megan Smith on the back check. Here come the Lakers the other way. To the left, and that one just put high, looking for the high blocker, similar to where Majeski shot it on her goal. Holland's able to escape, trying to use her speed on Van Dam. Good job by the Lakers captain to take it away, and whistle blows. Looks like a penalty is called to the Lakers.
Yeah, as the referee's pointing to the neutral zone here, we'll have a face-off right in front of the Lakers bench, and you got to wonder if they meant to call something like a hooking call, or what's going on in the head of John Briggs there, the head coach over on the Morrisville State Mustangs bench. You got to wonder if he wanted to call on something like that.
Well, the referee was pointing towards a Laker. I did think it was a penalty that he was going to call
I'm
with
surprised.
his signal, but there was no call made, so it's still 5-on-5.
I'm surprised he didn't myself.
In neutral ice, the Lakers look to turn with it. Jaziel is taken down from behind.
Yeah, now the Lakers want a penalty on that one.
Yeah, lots of yelling from the crowd and the Lakers bench. And the Lakers will turn it up ice. That pass to O'Brien, who didn't expect it, goes all the way deep into the Mustangs' end. And Morrisville able to escape. A 3-on-3 rush the other way. Here's Spears. Spears turning with it, protecting up top. Smith shoots, save DeVivo.
And some extracurricular activity there as Erica Parenti putting number 9, Amelia Lomas, down into the goal of Mia DeVivo. As here we'll take another look at the big shot there. And just Erica Parenti coming in. Unfortunately, the replay ended just before she hit her in a little bit of a, perfectly cut thing. But nonetheless, a lot. I mean, hey, if you're Erica Parenti, you got to protect your safety. Like I said, in the pregame show, I said that Mia DeVivo's your security. You got to protect your security.
Well, another thing we did mention in the pregame show is special teams. Stay out of the box. That's what the Lakers aren't doing right now. It's a power play for Morrisville. Parenti was given a roughing penalty for that shove into the net. And now it's a turnover by Brazeau in the Morrisville zone. It was a penalty to Eric Parenti for roughing. It'll be a Morrisville power play as they look to escape. In neutral ice, Cooley knocked it down. Morrisville recovers. Back into the Lakers' end. Morrisville has to forecheck. Spears and Holland in there. Good play by Pinty to give it to Cooley, who shoots it all the way down the ice. Flipping it back behind the goal. Morrisville having a little trouble getting out. And now they get the outlet pass they need. Coming through is Alexa Spears, protecting on the boards. Good job by the Lakers, good pressure, and it's cleared all the way down. Brazeau will knock it down again. Here is Lawrence behind the goal. Looking for an outlet pass, puts it on the boards, and it's taken away by the Lakers momentarily. And Morrisville will get back to it. Falling down was number 9, Amelia Lomas. And it's put back behind the goal of Brazeau again. Just not a good power play so far for Morrisville.
They were able to break it out that first time very textbook and very well. But unfortunately, it's just on this point, the Lakers are just essentially just that little bit faster than you, able to put on the pressure as Elizabeth Cooley is doing right now.
Here comes Morrisville breaking out of the zone right in front of their bench on the left side, and it's taken away by the Lakers again. Megan Smith shoots in a glove save by Brazeau, and she'll just take the whistle to get a new set of lines out.
Yeah, and it's something like that, especially for Megan Smith. If you take those 2 more steps, get yourself closer, low slot, something like that, you'll have a better opportunity of beating the reflexes of the goaltender, because don't get it twisted. Gabby Brazeau is a very, very good goalie on the side of Morrisville. I mean, hey, to face 23 shots all your own with, very limited defense and still only have 3 goals on net, that's nothing to scoff at.
Morrisville gets out of the zone. It could have been an on-man rush, but coming off the bench was a Laker to break that up. All the way behind the net, Van Dam gives it up, and Parenti was coming out of the box. I thought maybe she would have had a chance at a breakaway, but that pass wouldn't go to her. All the way behind, Shea Jaziel will recover it. She's got Van Dam, she'll give it to Van Dam. She looks to start the breakout all the way up for her door. Cunliffe putting it through, it's off a skate. Here's Clark, turning back the other way. Clark through neutral ice. Majeski is there to take it away and put it back deep behind the net of Brazeau. Chasing it back are the Mustangs to the boards again. All the way out of the zone, past the glove of Pinty. Leocoli back for it. Looking for Majeski, and Majeski tips it away for Parenti. She's got an on-man rush with Iverson. Parenti all the way across Iverson. Good save by Brazeau.
Yes, now it's captain number 15, Meadow Clark. I mean, hey, I told you that we'd see her in that second period. As we take a look at the replay again, sent right in, and a big pass across, and well done as well to Gabby Brazeau for being able to push all the way over to that far side and to be able to get one on as we get a stick returned over to the Laker benches. We'll get it going back in the Lakers offensive end.
Well, off the face-off, Pinty keeping it in the zone momentarily. It's pushed out of the zone. Would have been an odd man rush for Morrisville, but it was just sent all the way down the ice instead. Iverson starts the breakout. Here come the Lakers. A shot and a blocker save by Brazeau. Still in the corner. Morrisville putting it behind all the way around. Petherick behind the net again. Still can't get it out. All the way on the boards. Good pressure by the Lakers. Back towards the middle. Holland couldn't get there. The Lakers shot went off the side of the goal. Brazeau falling down, and the whistle will just blow as it's stuck behind the back of the goal.
Yes, Morrisville was looking for that whistle fairly quickly. They just didn't want to risk it here. As we take a look at a replay once again, that one just able to be just glancing off the blocker of Gabby Brazeau. And still, we've got a penalty coming up here. Number 26, Maddie Lawrence, going to the box. 2 minutes for a holding here. And now the Lakers will have another power play here. Let's see if they can make quick work of it.
Now, I'm not sure if it has any correlation to the penalty, but Sydney Pinty right in front of us, wincing in pain on the Lakers bench as the Lakers look to get the power play started. Van Dam back up top for Megan Smith. All the way across for Jaziel. Back to the corner, putting it towards the middle. Good takeaway by Morrisville. That shot by Van Dam wouldn't go. She'll get it back, though. Van Dam to Megan Smith. Putting it towards the corner. Clark is there to shoot it all the way around the boards. Keeping it in is Jaziel. Back down low. Jaziel gets it back. Jaziel, a shot and a save by Brazeau, who went to the right corner. Smith. Van Dam. Smith. Jaziel shoots, save, rebound, still there. It's blocked and not out. Now it is out. What a play by Jaziel, keeping it alive momentarily. Van Dam for Smith. Megan Smith putting it around the boards in front. And now Jaziel for Cunliffe. Georgia Cunliffe back up top for O'Brien. Second unit partially comes on for Oswego as it's Coley. Leah Coley. Turning, gives it up top for Sydney Pinty. Good to see her back on the ice. Coley shoots, it's blocked. Here is Rika Belli in the corner. Down low, gets it back. That was a whiff by Rika Belli, and it's cleared all the way down by Scarlett Smith.
Yeah, and it took a while to get that cleared out for Morrisville, but here come the Lakers again. I mean, Lakers have gotten some pretty decent shots on Gabby Brazeau there, so we'll see if they can take a couple more before the penalty is out.
Rika Belli looking for a pass, holding it herself momentarily, gave it up top for Leah Coley. That wasn't a good pass by Rika Belli. It was chipped all the way down the ice by Zoe Lees.
Yeah, that's a good play by Zoe Lees there. Able to just break it up herself, nip it in the bud, and get it out of the zone. And as a result now, as the Lakers come back, you're back at full strength.
It was a good kill by Morrisville. Really not too many shots for Oswego on that power play. Parenti takes one here, and a good save by Brazeau, steering it away to the corner. Back up top, Holland looking to knock it down. Holland took a big hit from Cooley. Now in the corner. Chipped all the way down the ice. Won't be far enough for an icing. Petherick behind the net, wheeling back up the boards. Petherick has it here, and it's an odd man rush for the Lakers. Tilly Petherick on the right board, shoots, and a save by Brazeau. And while we get this whistle, we're going to send it down to the stands where Jason Rude has a story for us. Jason, what do you got? We won't be getting a story from Jason Rude as a whistle blows here.
Yeah, apologies for a little bit of technical difficulties there, but like I said, this game, it's very much, as another penalty gets put on the board, this time for number 20, Kayla Dory, going to the box. Now, Morrisville able to get back onto that power play here, and we talked about it in the pregame show. Morrisville has a decent power play. They're 3 for the 12 opportunities that they've gotten so far in this in this season here. Meanwhile, Lakers have only scored 2 power play goals so far in the season.
Yeah, well, it is 3 for 13 now. Their first power play of the game was killed off. It comes back up top. On the boards, Couture put it there. Van Dam knocks it down. Couture's able to keep it alive. Puts it all the way through for Smith. Smith on the right boards. Puts it all the way through.
Wow.
That deflected and just went wide. That deflected off a body and to the left.
Yeah, that was right off the pants of Helen Van Dam. That would have been a very embarrassing goal had that one found the twine. Wow, wow, wow.
Here comes a rush here for Smith. Losing it, and it is cleared all the way past the red line. Coming in and shooting it into the zone behind DeVivo. Pinty looking and putting it all the way up top through the middle. Clark gloves it down. Clark, Couture, shoots, blocked, still there, to the middle. Another save by DeVivo, and she'll get the whistle.
Now, if you're the Oswego State Lakers, you really don't want shots like that to come. We'll take a look at the replay here. Just look at how close Lomas was able to get right in, have possession of that puck, and get a quick shot on before that whistle was blown. I mean, if you're the Lakers, you really got to clear those out and fast.
Still on the power play, here's Morrisville, cycling well. Here's Lawrence, shoots, save DeVivo, and she gets another whistle. The faceoff will be to her left.
Yeah, a quick leather there by Mia DeVivo. What a save made as we'll take a look at that save again. Just drops down quick with that one right above the head. Able to bring it down and keep it at 3-1.
Off the faceoff, Morrisville still with it in the offensive zone. Back up top for Clark. Down low, Lawrence for Clark, and that pass was too hard for her to handle. Clark, Lawrence kicking it. Pinty takes over for Oswego and clears it all the way down. A few good chances here from Morrisville. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Even if they don't score, this might just be a momentum switch for them. Morrisville coming through the middle. Smith controlling down low, protecting hard. She took a hard hit against the wall. Here's a shot, it's blocked. And now here comes Cunliffe the other way. On the right wing, Cunliffe shoots, save, Brazeau. In the corner, shot all the way around. Penalty comes to an end. Dore out of the box. Now it's Julia Power. Back for Petherick. Petherick with a couple hits there. The crowd reacts right in front of that hit. Power down low. Parenti digging for it. Parenti cycling back down low. In front, here's Petherick. Shot went wide. Here comes Morrisville the other way. Could have been an on-man rush, but they all went for a change. Spears will dump it in instead. Mia DeVivo stops it for Petherick. Puts it right back, reversing for Jazeel. Coming out of the neutral zone through, and it is knocked down by Lawrence. Lawrence putting it up the boards. Van Dam puts it all the way down low. Clark with Wonks digging for it. Clark put it up top, intercepted by Iverson. Wonks gets it back herself. Back up top, Jazeel. Down low, Iverson for Jazeel. Here is Jazeel. Shot it wide. Parenti. Up top, put to the middle, and a save by Brazeau. Iverson back up top for Jazeel. Jazeel, long shot, stopped by Brazeau. Iverson down low for Wonks. Wonks still on the boards and is taken away by Lawrence, who will put it up the wall and out of the zone. Parenti hitting it back towards Lawrence, who will put it behind the net of Mia DeVivo. And here comes Morrisville, forechecking hard. Jazeel with a good reverse hit, putting her back to the Morrisville forechecker, and Van Dam is able to dig it away. Van Dam up the wall. Wonk's going to get it out. Van Dam is still there to help, though, on the wall. Good job by the Lakers to get possession right back. Behind the net of Mia DeVivo, it's put up the wall. Here's Iverson tipping it forward, and Eggery will have it in neutral ice. Looking to start it back up quick with 4:15 to go here in the second period. Jazeel. London is there. London couldn't get it out. Good forechecking here by Morrisville, but now it's going to be a 3-on-2 rush. Now a 2-on-1 rush, and Morrisville is able to get back. Majeski couldn't get that puck quick enough to turn it into something. London up top. Pinty to London. London shoots. It's blocked. All the way back up top, Pinty. To the left, Coley. Coley, long shot, and the save by Brazeau. Majeski knocked down in front of the net. In the corner, Morrisville still digging for the Lakers. Get possession right back. It's London up top for Coley. Leah Coley protecting behind the goal. Comes in front with a shot, and it went wide of the net. Majeski up top for Pinty. Pinty across, a long shot, and a save by Brazeau. Coley in the corner, puts it behind the goal. Majeski's there. Here is Coley. Coley looking at options. She's going to put it on goal. Another save by Brazeau. Put all the way back up top for Pinty, and Pinty couldn't keep it in the zone. Coley looking and putting it back on goal from center ice. Brazeau steers it to the corner, and finally Couture has open ice to get it out of the zone. She gave it to Smith. Lomas there to help. Dory couldn't take it away, and the Lakers will have it all the way back in their defensive zone. Tilly Petherick on the right side to Megan Smith. Taken by Johnson towards the middle. Lomas' pass was too soft. Power there to intercept. Tilly Petherick taken right back by the Lakers in the offensive zone. Good job by Lomas to stay with it, and Johnson is able to skate it up, not out though. Lomas with Megan Smith all over her. Smith is first to the puck. Board battle to the left of Brazeau. Smith all the way up top for Petherick. Tilly Petherick, long shot, well wide of the net. Morrisville finally able to get out of the zone. It's going to result in a rush here. Lawrence, shot was blocked. Good job by Tilly Petherick. Lakers looking to counterattack. Power putting it to the middle, taken away by Morrisville. Still digging for it. Clark spinning back up top, and the Lakers are able to get it away. 2-on-2 rush. Parenti with Dore. Parenti put it through, and it was blocked by Johnson. Good stick there. On the boards, Clark. Lakers still with it. Parenti putting it behind the net, and Clark is able to skate it out, flipping it all the way up. Glove down by Van Dam. Parenti down low. Johnson is there. Johnson protecting on the boards. Puts it back up top and chipped out by Morrisville in neutral ice. Rika Belli turning on her backhand. Through center, gave it back to Van Dam. Good passing here by the Lakers, and it's taken away by Morrisville momentarily. Still on the boards, off a body, and it is still not out. A lot of bodies crashing for that puck with a minute to go here in the second period. Shea Jazeel, alley-oop pass all the way up top and taken by Morrisville. Past the red line, dumps it in behind the net of Mia DeVivo. Van Dam skating by herself through neutral ice. There goes Helen Van Dam, putting it down low. Lawrence is there for the puck. Van Dam down low, gives it up top for Cunliffe. And Morrisville is able to get it out of the zone, and skating it through neutral ice and putting it down low was Egri. And Pinty is there with 23 seconds to go in the period. Van Dam up top for Cunliffe. Cunliffe couldn't control that pass. Neither could the defenseman for Morrisville. It's taken down low, looking for that bank shot off the goaltender, and in it wouldn't go. Pinty, one last chance. Shot saved by Brazeau. Rebound went wide, and that will do it. What a flurry to end the period by the Lakers. All Oswego, Rob, to end that period.
Yeah, and how long was we just essentially playing for? That had to have been a solid 5 or so minutes of just consistent play to end the period. And I will say, a very successful period on the part of Morrisville. They kept the Lakers at bay. They kept the Lakers scoreless in that entire period. That was very well done by Morrisville. They had some decent opportunities, and now they're at 14 shots, where I believe they ended that first period at about 5 or 6. So a very good period on the side of the Morrisville Mustangs.
And that will do it from us here in the Steve Levy press box for now. But stay tuned. After this break, we're going to send it right back to the boys on the perch to break down the second period here on WTOP 10.
If you like action, romance,
If you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
surface is this.
Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
What we do here is go back.
Cooked! You know it's cooked when it's not raw anymore?
Gordon Ramsay in the sea here.
Cat cam.
Because Kenny pulled a picture of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get rid of all the questions.
Welcome back to the Deborah F. Stanley Arena for our second intermission of the Morrisville Mustangs at the Oswego Lakers. I'm your host, Alex Remnitzer, joined alongside by me, my analyst, Connor Sangus, and Cole Fleming. And gentlemen, we still have a 3-1 game here at the end of the second period. A little bit more life from the Mustangs at the beginning of the period, but it felt like a little bit of a war of attrition as the period continued and Oswego started to take control. Give me your thoughts, quick thoughts about the period you just watched.
Yeah, certainly a war of attrition, Alex. I mean, towards the end of that period especially, it kind of seemed like Morrisville just started to get tired and worn down. And honestly, Oswego spent so much time in that offensive zone, they were able to pitch a tent and go camping. So honestly, for Morrisville, when they were able to clear that puck, there was absolutely no chance for a counterattack because they were so gassed, they immediately had to change lines.
Yeah, I thought the period was a tale of two halves. First half was pretty much Morrisville. He said they had more shots even in the period. And then as that period went on, Oswego really started to get their momentum back. They had a few key moments that really pushed them over that edge. But I thought Morrisville came out with a lot more energy in that beginning of that second period and looked good for actually the majority of the period.
Yeah, for those first 5 to 10 minutes, I mean, we were like, wow, like Morrisville, is coming out of here. They got good shots on goal. They were, as you mentioned, Cole, they were out shooting the Lakers at one point. And then, as you mentioned, Connor, it just became so slow. They had to change lines at every opportunity. The Lakers' special teams, as you see on your screen, is also starting to take control of the faceoff. And there's a lot that has to be done here for the Mustangs in this last 20 minutes of play. And a quick hats off to Gabby Brazeau. I mean, she is getting thrown out there to the Wolves, and she is, her defensive lines are not giving her much. What, if you are the Mustangs coach, I mean, what do you have to say for your, to your keeper for your first game?
Honestly, I'm just saying thank you, because Gabby Brazeau is the only reason that Morrisville is still in this game. I mean, it's honestly a miracle that it is still at 3-1 after that second period. And just for being a true freshman, having never played here in the Deb before, Brazeau getting her first ever collegiate start, first ever matchup in SUNY play, I've been impressed.
Yeah, she's been super composed, super on top of it. I mean, you look at that, they had 16 shots in the period, she gave up none. Yeah. It was really, really composed after what could have been a very hard last 4 minutes in that first when she let up 2 goals. She really brought it back down, saved all 16 shots, presented her way, and just looked really good. Back over the 900 save percentage, saving 34 of 37 on the day. She's been very good.
Very impressive for a true rookie. And you got to give the Mustangs some credit, like we mentioned, for coming out strong and not letting a 3-1 deficit, early deficit, get to them, still playing with energy at the beginning of the period. But gentlemen, we're also not here for moral victories. This is still a SUNYAC conference game, and this is still a match where you can't say that, oh, well, we put out good energy. No, you need to get results. On the other side, on the Lakers, if you're going back into that locker room right now, are you considering this period a little bit of a failure or a step off the gas like we mentioned, or not? Are you happy with it?
If I'm Mark Digby, I'm a little bit upset with just the slow start to the period that the Lakers had. Also with the 2 holding penalties committed so far by Kayla Dory. There was another penalty during that period by Erica Parenti, so 2 penalties that the Lakers committed. And honestly, this is something that they've struggled with the entire season. Through just 5 completed games now, this is their 6th game on the season, they have committed 20 penalties so far. And granted, their penalty kill has been stellar. They're 20 for 20. It's 100%. But you do not want to be down that extra skater as much as they are. I mean, they honestly, they're making their way to becoming the most heavily penalized team in the SUNYAC so far.
Yeah, I would think, if I were Mark Digby, I'd be very happy with how that period went, but the same thing, would be very not happy with the penalties.
Absolutely.
The second one came, it was unnecessary, it was away from the puck, it was just kind of not needed, but give a huge shout out to that penalty kill. They really used that kill in that second, and at the very end, that block shot, really to completely wipe away all of Morrisville's momentum in that entire period. And after that block shot and breakaway, it was all Oswego for the rest of the period.
Yeah, absolutely killed their momentum, like you said, Cole. Just might have been the turning point where Morrisville got a little bit demoralized just heading into the rest of the period. The Lakers, you know, while this is still their 6th game, they're still trying to get into that form. Like we mentioned, you know, the sloppy penalties, you know, good teams don't let that they practice to be perfect, right? You do not allow those penalties to get to you. They have to return to a more complete shape. But I will say that they are defending well as a unit. I think that their trapping is doing really well. And DeVivo is at the anchor, is the heart of that defense. Tell me a little bit more about DeVivo and how she stood out to you throughout this match.
Yeah, DeVivo's certainly done a great job. She did a great job yesterday, great job today, being the only goaltender in this game, actually started the game yesterday, so she's certainly got to be a little tired, a little beat up from the game yesterday. She's doing a great job. The defense has kind of left her out to dry a multitude of times. We see some skaters skating in, having clear shots on DeVivo, kind of just left alone to her own devices. But DeVivo doing a great job getting those rebounds off to the side, not leaving them in front. And honestly, just this Oswego defense, they've got to be a little better, making sure that they could stay back and help out their goaltender a little bit.
Yeah, no, she's looked very comfortable in that. She's faced most of her chances against her are 2-on-1s, kind of these breakaway type things. So she's done very well. She's moving side to side very well. She's pressing off the corners really well, and she's looking very composed in there, which is super huge when you're giving away breakaways like that. She's really letting them come to her and being a big presence in the net, which is just taking away a lot of the angles and opportunities when they have those 2-on-1s and advantages.
And absolutely, and as we mentioned, sorry, Connor, to cut you off, but as we mentioned in the first intermission period, we mentioned that Morrisville is going to try to force these transition opportunities, try to get these wide open windows that the Lakers are giving them on defense, and try to, you know, get those quick goals. You might not have as many shots on goal, but if you can get a quick transition goal, you can still make this a game, Connor.
Yeah, certainly. The Lakers aren't on pace anymore to have over 60 shots today, so that's at least a plus for Morrisville. Before I accidentally cut you off, Alex, I just wanted to point out a quick stat there that we saw on the DeVivo graphic. Just a key difference in career ice time between her and Gabby Brazeau. That obviously becomes a massive factor. DeVivo has certainly been here, no stranger to the moment, and honestly being one of the big veteran leaders on this team for Oswego, despite the fact that she's only a sophomore with the amount of new freshmen coming in, hence why we're seeing so many penalties committed by this team this year. They're very young. But great veteran leadership by DeVivo, despite the fact that she's only being a sophomore. She's playing like she might be a junior or senior.
Yeah, no, when you have a player like that, Connor, who is ahead of their years, as they say, it allows your team to fill in nicely, especially with having 12 new faces to this team and allowing, you know, the pieces to kind of fill in, fall as they may. Really well adapted Oswego team. The Morrisville has, you know, a couple more opportunities. They got 20 minutes of play. It's 20 minutes for the rest of their lives, as they say. Cole, what does Morrisville have to change in this 20 minutes to give them a shot at tying up this game?
I I wouldn't change too much from that second period, but they have to go out fast again. They got the penalties they wanted. They have to do better on the power play if they get those chances. But other than that, they were doing better getting pucks to net. Give Oswego some credit for being in the lanes. And it was the same thing for Morrisville, both sides. Morrisville has to keep staying in the lanes, blocking shots like they were in that period, which is why you saw the shot total going down a lot for Oswego. You just stay disciplined, and it's got to coming from both sides, but Morrisville has to capitalize on their chances while staying disciplined and not giving up any more big opportunities for the Lakers.
Yeah, when you dig yourself into a 3-1 deficit hole early, you can't allow any mistakes to jeopardize your opportunities of coming back into this match. But that's going to do it for us right here on the porch. We will be back for post-game after the game, but coming up is third period action between the Morrisville Mustangs at the Oswego Lakers. You're watching Alumni Weekend Women's Hockey right here on WTOP 10.
If it's hockey,
It's what they score!
it's on Hockey Talk. Join Rob Finger and his panel of guests
Their behavior against easy teams. How do you lose to the Bruins twice?
as they take you through the hockey world.
We welcome you with open arms.
Tune into Hockey Talk, Mondays at 9:30 after East Coast hockey games, only on WTOP.
Oh boy!
Come across like
Welcome back to Deborah F. Stanley Arena for the third period between the Oswego State Lakers and the Morrisville Mustangs. Rob, you see here on the screen the goals by each team.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, only having 4 of them so far, one of them being for Morrisville, that's a very good sign if you're on the Morrisville State Mustangs bench there, and if you're head coach John Briggs for Morrisville. I mean, hey, you've been doing fantastic in this game, especially against a ranked opponent like the Oswego State Lakers. We failed to mention the fact that, yeah, the Lakers are still ranked here. I believe they're, in and around like the 13, 14, possibly 11, but still, you're going up against a ranked opponent, and you're not doing too bad.
Yeah, I mean, the shots are only 33-14, but also I think Morrisville is keeping up with the Lakers physically.
Yes, very much so. I mean, if you're Morrisville, that's one of the few things that you've probably got over the Lakers. You've got that physicality. You need to use that however and whenever you can.
You see a little physicality there by Couture as she boxes out the Laker to take the puck away. And this is how we'll start the third period. Morrisville getting out of the zone. Falling there was a Mustang on the breakout. And now the Lakers look to counterattack the other way. Coming out with it is Doré into the neutral ice. Chipping it in was Cooley on that dump in. Lawrence shoots it all the way around the boards. Keeping it in there was Leah Coley. Coley shoots it, and it's knocked out of the zone, and here come the Mustangs the other way. Good job by Coley to get back. Breaks up that opportunity from Zoe Lees, and now it's out of the zone again, and that's where Leah Coley will get it right back in her own zone. Leah Coley looking to break out. Good pressure by Lomas, and now Elizabeth Cooley will have it and gets it out of the zone. Here comes Rika Belli, dumping it in behind the goal of Brazeau. Rika Belli still digging for it, and good job by Johnson to get it out and gives it up to Spears. Spears missed that pass, and now it's Petherick. Petherick on the wall. Shooting in there was Rika Belli. Behind the goal, Johnson will have it. Johnson up for Spears. Spears knocks it out. Lomas chasing it down. Petherick. Return pass for London. London ran into O'Brien, and Petherick will get the long shot and a score! Brazeau will want that one back. Tilly Petherick makes it 4-1 Oswego.
I mean, hey, as the saying goes, you put it on net, it might just go in. And that was just a lob, a straight up lob by Tilly Petherick. Brazeau missed it with her glove, and into the back of the net, it just floats right in.
They don't ask how, they ask how many. And for Tilly Petherick, she gets her first goal of the game. And it's 4-1 Oswego early in the third period. Couture couldn't get it out. Good job by the Lakers. Iverson kept it in momentarily. Now Power gives it all the way across for Van Dam, who will shoot it behind the goal of Brazeau. And for Brazeau, a goal like that is just so unlucky because she has had such a good game.
Yeah, and it's very backbreaking for Morrisville. That's one of those, like, making you essentially physically insane. Like, how does this happen? Why does this happen? Now we're going to lose.
That is a backbreaker for Morrisville. They just need to keep their head up and hopefully just get some offense going. But the Lakers look to get the offense going first. That backhander was stopped by Brazeau, who had to dive down for it as we have a little scrub in front of the net. Van Dam rushed Brazeau.
Yeah, as Natalie Lons gets forced out by a couple different defenders here. We'll take a look at the replay. A backhander right towards the 5-hole and poking at it was, I believe that was Natalie Lons, just shoving her stick right towards where that puck was. And I mean, hey, they tell him, play to the whistle. That's playing to the whistle right there.
In the corner, Lung's trying to take it away. She will. Natalie Lungs couldn't get the puck away again. Johnson put it up the boards. Good pressure here by Oswego. On the boards again. All the way around. Morris will have clean ice to get it out of the zone. Egri will along the boards. And the Lakers, again, don't allow a zone entry. Lungs loses it again. Egri shoots in. She'll chase it herself. She's got Pinty to beat, and Pinty's able to get to the puck first, off the boards, at the red line, and Couture couldn't get it. It's put back into the Morrisville zone. Lawrence behind Brazeau's goal. Lawrence all the way up for Spears. That pass missed. Good job by Doré to keep it in. Doré's still battling. Here is Doré to the corner, spinning back with it. Down low, looking for Cooley. The pass missed. Reversing, and Lawrence has it. Lawrence all the way up, not out of the zone. Now it is out of the zone. Megan Smith down low. That's where Brazeau will stop it. Looking for a defenseman to take it, and she's got to pass it around for Couture. All the way up. Good job by Petherick to knock it down. Tilly Petherick in front, and that pass missed Cooley. Out come the Morrisville Mustangs. Good chance here, and they missed the pass. It went all the way down, but it wasn't icing. Good hustle there by Amelia Lomas. All the way out, Clark. Meadow Clark shoots it in. All the way down behind the goal of Mia DeVivo. Here is Tilly Petherick. Petherick up for Cooley. Cooley's pass missed. Clark shoots it right back in. Lomas almost had a breakaway, but she couldn't get to the puck in time. She went for a change instead. And now it's shipped out of the zone. Johnson Off the boards, pass misses again. Johnson has another chance for it. Johnson through the middle. The pass was behind again, and now it's London. London on the right boards, taken down. Pass for Ricabelli. Shot was blocked by Clark. It's still there, and a save by Brazeau. The rebound went off the side of the net. Clark digging for it. London now. Down low. Ricabelli. Ricabelli's pass hit a stick. Still got to Jazeel, though. London to the middle, and it's taken away by Morrisville. Around the boards, looking for Clark. Ricabelli back up top. Good pass for O'Brien. O'Brien to Ricabelli again. That shot went wide of Brazeau on the blocker side, and she'll take the rebound and cover up.
Yeah, you got to cover that one up and just get that sort of break. Morrisville had many players out there for a long time, so take a look at the replay. Just so close. Just that little bit wide, that puck going. And I mean, hey, like I said, if you're Brazeau, you gave up a little bit of an easy one earlier, and I mean, you got to take your luck where you can get it.
Egri shooting went off a stick and into the penalty box. We'll have another whistle in neutral ice. And for Morrisville, they really just need to get the offense going. We saw a few chances throughout the game, here and there, especially on their power play, but it just doesn't seem like they can really get anything like off the rush.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that they really have to capitalize on. The rush has worked beautifully for teams playing the Oswego State Lakers, and the Mustangs have gotten that one goal that they did get off of a rush as we get a penalty coming up now here.
It looked like Brittany Iverson drew the penalty.
2 minutes for roughing the call on that one, as it'll be, I believe that's number 3, Tilly Couture, going to the box for Morrisville, so they're really going to want that one back. Let's take a look at that replay. Yeah, that one just coming a little bit hard into the boards there. I mean, she was gliding into it by only about a stride, though, so she's lucky she didn't also possibly get a charging for that as well.
Well, boarding is the call to Couture. It is a pass here for Van Dam. Van Dam down low for Megan Smith. Plays it along for Cunliffe. All the way up top for O'Brien. O'Brien for Van Dam, back for O'Brien. On the left side, spinning, losing her stick was number 9, Lomas. All the way down low for Megan Smith again. Jazeel down low, looking for the tip from Georgia Cunliffe. Cunliffe back up top. Good job, Van Dam, to receive that pass with her skate. Van Dam patient with it. Cunliffe tried to get it back for Van Dam, and good job by Van Dam to pressure on the wall, but it's going to be passed out of the zone, and that allows Lomas to go get her stick again. Van Dam skating it in herself. Now she'll dump it in behind the goal. Bad passing there by the Mustangs. Pass here for Cunliffe. Cunliffe dropping it off for Coley. Leah Coley down low. Smith up top for Jazeel. To her left, Megan Smith. Smith been on this whole power play. Now Cunliffe. Jazeel got a change. Megan Smith in the corner, back up top for Pinty. To Coley. Leah Coley being pressured, and her pass leaves the zone. Jenna Majeski waits for her team to touch up. Majeski will skate it in herself. She's fresh off the bench. Another one fresh off the bench is Ricabelli, who will shoot it wide on the blocker side. And Pinty all the way back in neutral ice. She has to regroup with it with 20 seconds to go on the power play. Pinty all the way across for Coley. Coley, good pressure there by the Morrisville player. That's number 14, Ava Wagaman. Excuse me, that's actually number 19, Zoe Leas. Ricabelli will skate it around as the power play comes to an end. Couture out of the box. And Johnson plays it along for Clark. Clark through neutral ice. The Morrisville captain loses it to Majeski. The long reach lifts the stick. She takes a slash and shoots and scores! What a goal by Jenna Majeski!
Wow, wow, wow. Goal number 2 of the day for Jenna Majeski. Look at this, the drag, the shot, and the score. Wow. What a play there, Jenna Majeski making it happen all her own from the steal right at the red line. Up the boards it goes. And Jenna Majeski, toe drag, back of the net. 5-1 Lakers.
And that play all started in neutral ice when Jenna Majeski on the back check took it right away from Meadow Clark with the stick lift.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, for Meadow Clark just to get pickpocketed like that, it's got to be almost borderline insulting.
Well, 12:01 to go in the third, as now we have a conversation with the referees on the Morrisville bench. Looks like that coach is not happy about something.
Yeah, John Briggs really a bit heated about that, and he's got to be careful or he might get a bench minor for that.
Well, play does resume. Nothing comes out of that conversation as bodies fly in neutral ice. That one went wide of Mia DeVivo. The Lakers look to break out. The pass went off a stick, and now Smith turns it right back into the offensive zone. Off the boards, comes in front. A dangerous play there, and the Lakers are able to avoid it. Megan Smith loses the puck. Lawrence puts it up ice. Off the boards, dumping it in, past Power, and Petherick back in her defensive zone to get it, but it's taken away by by Morrisville again. Back in front, DeVivo puts it back to the corner. Body still flying, a lot of physicality. Power and number 13, Scarlett Smith, were going at it for a little bit. Smith shooting it back in. It's in neutral ice again. Now a whistle blows and a hand pass is called on the Lakers.
Yeah, we'll send it all the way back into the zone of the Lakers. Now up 5-1 on 38 shots so far. And I mean, hey, they've made the early shots in this period count. 2 goals in just the first half. So we'll see if they can continue the momentum here.
Face off to the left of Mia DeVivo. And Morrisville will win it. In the corner behind the net of Mia DeVivo now. Van Dam with good pressure. Zoe Elias is still there, and now it's taken away by the Lakers. Escaping the zone all the way up. Good pass by Cunliffe, and it's deflected into the zone. Checking hard here all the way around the net. Reversing. Here's Cunliffe again. Cunliffe loses the puck, but Lunks takes it over. Lunks back up top for Shea Jazeel. Lunks again. Natalie Lunks. Good moves. Here is Lunks looking for the shot, and a save by Brazeau. What a move by Natalie Lunks, who scored earlier in this game.
Yeah, and that one was very fortunate for Morrisville anyway to get it redirected out and wide. But here come the Lakers again.
Jazeel, long shot deflected by Cunliffe, and a save by Brazeau.
Yeah, and you got to think that Gabby Brazeau is a little bit tired there in the crease of the Morrisville State Mustangs. Look at this one. Redirected off of the shaft of the stick of Georgia Cunliffe. And yeah, that one's lucky for her that it didn't quite go low or get her essentially in the 5-hole as we get a timeout called here.
It looks like a timeout called by, I would have to assume, Morrisville. I don't see any reason why the Lakers would take a timeout, but it also helps, or doesn't help, excuse me, for Morrisville. They got to call this timeout. They have a short bench.
Yeah, very, very true. And I mean, hey, you got to think, especially on the side of Morrisville, get your players a little bit of rest and try to make this one look like a little bit more of a respectable game, because at the current score, 5-1, I mean, you want to make it look like at least 5-2, 5-3 though, if you can. Although I don't really think, especially in the 10 minutes left in this game, I'll be honest, I don't foresee them getting much more than maybe 2 goals.
Well, during this timeout, we do have a little time here to hear from Jason Rude, who's downstairs. Jason, what do you got down there?
Guys, down here at the Deb, it has been ecstatic. The Lakers going up 5-1 against the Stangs. You can tell it's been an offensive onslaught, and quite literally, it might be the best game from the women's ice hockey Lakers that we have seen all season long. And we're sure to probably get some more happening on as this quarter winds down. I'll be here and I'll interview with the Lakers as they get this amazing win against the Morrisville Mustangs. Now, back to you guys up in the booth.
Thanks, Jason. Back in the Morrisville zone. The Lakers with the puck. The Lakers still looking to maintain possession, and it goes down low for London. All the way behind the net of Brazeau. And now it's Pinty in neutral ice. Pinty to Coley. Coley shoots it all the way down low. Brazeau reaching for it, couldn't control it herself. London on the boards. O'Brien couldn't keep it, and it's shot all the way down on the net of Mia DeVivo, and DeVivo will just take a whistle, and it's going to be an offensive zone faceoff here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, especially if you're Mia DeVivo, you really got to be a little bit more quick to decide if you're going to let it go or if you're really going to cover it, because after a while, you saw number 13, Scarlett Smith, streaking right in, and I mean, that's probably what forced her to cover it up, and now you've got a defensive zone penalty. You've got a defensive zone face-off where you could have had a rush going the other way.
O'Brien is on that boards. Petherick played it instead. Petherick put it towards the middle. Didn't get out of the zone, though, so Petherick has to race back for it. Power up the right side. London couldn't keep it alive, and now Egri has it at the red line, and she'll shoot it right back into the Lakers' end. Julia Power for her defense partner, Petherick. Long pass looking for London was too far, and it'll be an icing on Oswego. It'll be another offensive zone faceoff here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and a pair of really good opportunities here, a pair of offensive zone faceoffs for the Morrisville State Mustangs. If you want to get another goal on the board here, this is how you get it. You win the faceoff, you try to set something up, and you try to fool Mia DeVivo.
Face off to the right of DeVivo. Bodies flying as Power landing on top of Spears. The puck's in the corner. Comes in front. DeVivo had to steer it away, and O'Brien will be there to help. Up top, Lawrence long shot was blocked. And that's what the Lakers do best defensively. They love blocking shots, Rob.
Very much so. They've been helping out Mia DeVivo quite a bit over the course of this season so far. And being able to block shots is just, you got to help your goalie wherever you can.
In the game that you called yesterday, they had a 5-on-3 penalty kill late in the game. You saw them block so many shots.
Yeah, and I was very surprised that they didn't leave that 5-on-3 another goal down. They killed that off very, very excellently yesterday. And I mean, I can't give them enough props for doing so.
Off the faceoff in neutral ice, it's Helen Van Dam putting on her backhand, looking for Majeski. Jenna Majeski already 2 goals in this game, and Van Dam with it now. Majeski again, flipping it along for Iverson. That pass was too far, and now comes Holland. Holland, the only goal scorer for Morrisville in this game. She put it well wide of the net. Holland back in the corner, couldn't get to that puck. A little whack on Jazeel, who will have no problem skating it out, and gives it to Jenna Majeski. That pass was too far for Iverson. She couldn't handle it. Back in the Morrisville zone, that pass was too far, and now it's Couture putting it back in. Van Dam on the boards. Board battle, good job by Sierens to give it to Jazeel. Fiona Sierens in the Morrisville zone puts a shot on the glove side of Brazeau, who will get a whistle.
Yeah, so another whistle here. It looked like the stick of number 26, Madison Lawrence, was in the feet of Amelia Lomas. We'll take a look at another replay here. Yeah, and another just good stop by the leather of Gabby Brazeau as we get things going once more.
Pinty down low for Lunks. Flipping it along, looking for Cunliffe. Georgia Cunliffe, good move. Pass to the middle, and it wouldn't go. Pinty on the right boards, down low. Good protection here. Good cycling by the Lakers. To the middle again. Cunliffe making moves again. All the way up top for Pinty. Pinty couldn't control that pass, and it's going to leave the zone. Leah Coley looking for a pass on the board. She got it all the way up top, and it's dumped into the zone by Katie Demers. All the way around. Sydney Pinty will have another try on the boards. Sydney Pinty up the boards again. Now Lunks. Natalie Lunks shoots and is blocked. It's still loose, though, in the middle, and Lunks has it again. Down low. Georgia Cunliffe shoots, scores! A goal in 2 straight games for Georgia Cunliffe. The freshman puts Oswego up 6-1.
6-1 Lakers, Georgia Cunliffe. We'll take a look at that replay. Just right from the side, boom, right in the back of the net. A shallow angle shot. That was excellently placed. Excellent by Georgia Cunliffe.
Beautiful shot. We've seen it all night from the Lakers. A few great shots by Majeski, and then that one by Cunliffe to make it 6-1. And that pass was intercepted by Clark. And the Mustangs trying to just get anything offensively late here in this game. Back in the Lakers' end, Petherick behind the goal, looking to escape. Petherick's going to skate it up herself. She's got Cooley, and she's going to give it to Cooley. Elizabeth Cooley into the zone. Down low, Smith behind the net. Dory up top. Here is a chance here for Power to shoot, but she passed it off instead. In the skates of a few players, and it's going to be up top for Spears, who will chip it all the way down the ice. Let's see if this is long enough for an icing, and it's not even close. Here is Power. Up top quick for Cooley. Cooley for Megan Smith, and that is whistled down for offside.
Yeah, and this is the part of the game here, James, where especially if you're Morrisville, you're going to be really struggling on account of that shorter bench that you have. The Lakers, they have a very, very deep bench, whereas Morrisville, your players are really just gasping for air. Even if you're getting really short shifts, which you can't even get if you're Morrisville at this stage, you're still just absolutely gassed.
It does seem like they're just out of breath at this point. London in neutral ice. London across, and bringing in herself is O'Brien. Good play by London on the boards to give it to O'Brien. Back up top for Van Dam. That backhander was stopped by Brazeau, and Brazeau is able to get a whistle, and now some pushing after the whistle by Couture, and more pushing on O'Brien.
Wow.
And I would have to imagine Couture is going to the box for that one.
Yeah, that is very violent. Tilly Couture, yeah, you're going to the box for that one. I can understand your frustration, but take it out some other way.
Yeah, that is pure frustration on the side of Morrisville. Now, I want to just take a look at the Morrisville bench one more time. I mean, we were talking about, fatigue setting in for them. A normal hockey team has 4 sets of forward lines and 3 sets of D pairs. This Morrisville team is shorthanded in every single way. They only have 3 forward lines and 2 sets of defensive pairs.
Yeah, it's very much a case of a hand tied behind your back here. And if you're Morrisville, just that short bench, it's really killing you at this point.
On the power play, the Lakers again. Leah Coley looking to flip it back, and Morrisville's able to take it away. But without a stick is Lomas. For the second time, while on a penalty kill, she lost her stick.
Yeah, but thankfully the soccer skills coming in handy for her.
Absolutely. Coley's putting it all the way down low. Johnson behind the net. Johnson pinning it there. Demers and Ricabelli are there, and Majeski is able to come away with it. Gives it up top. A shot was blocked. Still there for the clear for Egri, and she is able to get it out, but not far, not even past the red line. Demers into the offensive zone again. She's got a chance to shoot. She does. It's a little high of Brazeau. Majeski leaving it there for Pinty. Across for Ricabelli. Her shot is stopped and swallowed up by Brazeau, who gave Majeski a little whack after the whistle.
Yeah, and I was about to say, Gabby Brazeau, yeah, you got to think that she's also quite a little bit miffed by the conduct that's happening in front of her, especially the Lakers. I mean, like I said earlier, you play till the whistle. She did. She came across, but clearly Brazeau not exactly the happiest camper.
Face off to the left of Brazeau. Her team is still shorthanded. That one was way too high of Van Dam, who tried to glove it down. Van Dam's got to race back for her, and he's got pressure on her back by Scarlett Smith while shorthanded, and the Lakers have an easier chance to clear here. And it's a 3-on-2 if they hurry while on the power play, and a good back check there by Morrisville. But they still can't get it out. Jazeel down low for Cunliffe. The last goal scorer of the game. Van Dam, a shot was blocked. Now Cunliffe again. She actually left it for Jazeel, but Cunliffe will have it again. Here's Cunliffe, the pass down low, and that deflected off the skate of Megan Smith and just wide of Brazeau to the left.
Yeah, if that had found Twine, I don't know if they would have accepted it.
Megan Smith back up top for Van Dam. Now Jazeel. Down low for Cunliffe. Cunliffe back up top for Jazeel. To her left, Van Dam. Van Dam a long shot, and that one was stopped by Brazeau, who didn't know where it was. It went on the stick of Megan Smith behind the goal, who brought it up top for the pass back down low for Cunliffe. Jazeel on the wall, battling hard, went back to the middle, and Van Dam is able to keep it in momentarily, and it's chipped all the way down the ice on the goal of Mima DeVivo, and she's forced to play it to Brittany Iverson, the closest defenseman to her. Iverson skating up herself. Good speed by Iverson, and she's going to be the one to chase it after her own dumping. Johnson puts it on her backhand all the way around the boards. Clark is there. Digging for it is Iverson and Sierens, and it went up top for Petherick, who put that one wide. Here's Powers up top, and it left the zone with 2:40 to go here in the third period. Lakers still up 6-1 as Meadow Clark plays it along behind the net and into the corner. The other Clark plays it along for Morrisville, and Meadow Clark is able to dump it into the Lakers zone. Powers with it in the final 2:15 of this game. In the neutral zone still. And Morrisville is able to get it out of the zone. Majeski plays it along for Coley. Lawrence with a slap shot all the way down the ice. No icing, as Mia DeVivo just wanted to keep the clock going. Still in neutral ice, Couture plays it back into the Lakers' end. And Petherick will turn away with it and gives it up to Elizabeth Cooley. Cooley on the right wing. Down the boards, taking a shot, and Brazeau made the save. And now we're going to have more pushing and shoving as Megan Smith went after that loose puck.
Yeah, Meadow Clark, the captain, trying to protect her goaltender. And yeah, you look at Brazeau's jersey there, just absolutely covered in snow. But yeah, tensions are really rising. And Tilly Couture now having some words for some of the Lakers as we take a look at the replay. Yeah, Megan Smith digging at Brazeau's pad there, just sending her onto her side. And yeah, Morrisville taking some serious offense to what's going on with the Lakers right now.
Well, following this game for the Lakers, as Mark Digby has a talk with the official, following this game for the Lakers, they'll play in William Smith their next game on November 21st, which next week from here. After that, they'll play in Buff State, and our next coverage here on WTOP will be back here at the Deborah F. Stanley Arena, where the Lakers will go against Hamilton on December 6th. This face-off to the left of Brazeau. I would have to imagine you'd be on that call, Rob.
Hopefully so. I mean, I'll be in town that day. I mean, if it's that Saturday, but nonetheless, a bit of a road trip coming up for the Lakers after this. Going both to Buff State and William Smith. Going out west a little bit, and they'll be going out west with some good momentum, especially with a 6-1 like they have right here.
Yeah, unless some kind of miracle does happen, they'll likely be walking out of here with a victory. There's still 1:25 to go. Off the face-off, Cooley down low. Comes all the way back up top on the boards. And it's able to be pushed out. Pinty trying to put it right back deep. Spears is able to chase it down and get it into the Lakers' end. Leah Coley turning with it. Elizabeth Cooley puts it back into the Morrisville end with 1 minute to go in the third period, as now a penalty is called.
Yeah, and one of the linesmen went hitting the deck on account of Elizabeth Cooley there. As we've got another penalty for Tilly Couture. Wow. And Tilly Couture, I mean, so far she's taken 5 penalties in the 4 games that the Mustangs have put on. But now that's just 3 penalties in 1 game for Tilly Couture. I mean, hey, I understand her frustration and her frustration at the score on the board, but you're really not doing your team any favors.
Oh, absolutely not. You're just really letting the frustration set in. There'll be another power play to end the game here for Oswego. unless they do score before that. Van Dam putting it down low. Behind the net of Brazeau as that one went way up into the air. Getting hit hard on the boards with Cunliffe by Lawrence. A little physicality end the game here for Morrisville.
Georgia Cunliffe giving a little bit of retaliation there. I'm surprised that the referees didn't call that.
Jazeel up top for Van Dam. Van Dam all the way across for Cunliffe and a save by Brazeau. Her 38th of the game. Jazeel at the blue line. To her left for Van Dam. She'll get it back. Jazeel all the way across for Cunliffe. Cunliffe for Van Dam. Van Dam a long shot. Deflected high of the net. Cunliffe, the final 10. Jazeel for Van Dam. She takes a hit from Holland. And now Holland and Van Dam going at it a little bit as the final seconds tick off and the Lakers win it 6-1. And Van Dam pointing to the scoreboard, letting Holland know what the scoreboard was.
Out of the, wow. Come on. That is poor sportsmanship. Tilly Couture, go back to Morrisville. I'm sorry. That is appalling. As a real hockey guy, I'm sorry. Tilly Couture, that is over the line. Come on. Be a gracious loser. Go back to Morrisville. I'm sorry. That's just over the line. Absolutely not.
We usually see handshakes after the game. We might see some of them. No, the officials are telling both teams, or at least Morrisville, to just go to the locker room, and there won't be handshakes after this game.
Yeah, and a big win for the Oswego State Lakers on their alumni weekend as, yeah, Morrisville still with words to say. My goodness. I mean, geez. You be a gracious winner, but you also be a gracious loser as well. I mean, wow, just it's appalling, just the lack of sportsmanship from Morrisville. This is a real black mark on them.
Absolutely. It was definitely a physical end to this one. The Lakers coming out victorious 6-1, and you definitely got to know that the frustration was going to set in for Morrisville.
Yeah, you can be frustrated, and trust me, I've been in their place. I've played hockey for most of my life. I've been in many games like that, but you never leave the ice on a bad note. You always shake their hands. You always say, hey, good game, but never like this. Never like this.
Absolutely, and for Tilly Couture to come out of the box, she's lucky she doesn't face any discipline afterwards. You know, coming off the bench and starting something we saw yesterday with Oswego as well against Cortland. I was watching the game, I was a little nervous, like you don't want to get into anything after.
And to be fair, Cortland was also gracious. They came, they shook hands, they said, yeah, that was a good game. You kind of came back at us. We thought we were going to win, but hey, that was a good game. But Morrisville, like this, I mean, really, you were in the box. You get 3 penalties on yourself. Just leave, go back home, and just rest it off, you know? And like I said, as a player myself who's been in that very position where, you know, the other team might be talking a little bit of smack, let it go in one ear and out the other. Don't make it, you know, don't make it set in more than it really needs to. It's just a game after all.
Well, the Lakers are victorious 6-1. Their next matchup, like we said, is against William Smith on November the 21st. But for now, from me, James Fitzpatrick, and to my right, Rob Finger, thank you for watching. We're going to send it back to the Perch right after this break where they'll wrap it all up here on WTOP 10.
If it's hockey,
In front, they score!
it's on Hockey Talk. Join Rob Finger and his panel of guests
Their behavior against easy teams. How do you lose to the Bruins twice?
as they take you through the hockey world.
We welcome you with open arms.
Tune into Hockey Talk, Mondays at 9:30 after East Coast hockey games, only on WTOP.
Oh boy!
Come across.
Back to our post-game. Oswego Lakers take care of business at home against the Morrisville Mustangs, winning 6-1, an absolute rout, just a great showing for the Lakers. And I'm your host, Alex Chemnitzer, joined alongside by my analyst, Connor Sangus, and Cole Fleming. And gentlemen, besides an absolutely amazing showing for the Oswego Lakers winning 6-1, we saw some fireworks at the end of that game. Run me through what happened just at the end of that.
Yeah, Alex, certainly a physical and emotional third period for both of these teams. When you look at the penalties committed in that third period, Morrisville commits 3 of them, all by one player. Tilly Couture. These penalties were, 2 of them were roughing, 1 of them was cross-checking, so technically violent penalties when you really look at it. And certainly some extra pushing and shoving after the final whistle. Certainly not what you want. And these two teams didn't even shake hands. So certainly not a good look for either of these two teams in their first opening weekend of SUNYAC play.
Yeah, something to note that all 3 of those penalties from Tilly Couture were after the play was over, and that's in assistant captain there with. Some of those mistakes they're hard. Times get heated. It happens.
Yeah, players get sucked in, they get emotional, but not a good look from your assistant captain, like you said, losing her cool at the end of that game. But let's head now to some of the stars of this game, some of the players of the match. We had some stellar performances. We are going to look at first Jenna Majeski, an absolutely amazing night. Cole, take the reins on this one. Tell me about her night.
Oh my gosh, she was everywhere on the ice. Holy cow! The skating was super fast. On top of it, 2 goals, 1 in the first period, great finish, right over the shoulder, top shelf, and the second one, oh my! You got the stick steal. You have what a dangle, and then just the nice placement in the left corner. Oh my! That was just really, really nice from Majeski all night. She was really impressive.
Like watching poetry in motion. She was the initiator, and she had some amazing moves and amazing kills on the penalty. Connor, tell me a little bit more about what you think about Majeski's performance.
Yeah, I mean, certainly she's tied for the lead of the team lead in goals now with 4 with freshman Georgia Cunliffe, and on top of that, Jenna Majeski, she also scored last night, so making it multiple goals in multiple days, back-to-back goals in back-to-back days.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great performance from Majeski. And our next star of the game, we have somebody who got a little chippy at the end with the other team, but before that final buzzer sounded, Helen Van Dam, amazing night. Connor, tell me about Van Dam's night.
Yeah, you could see there 3 points tonight, all 3 coming on assists. 7 shots recorded, 4 total shots on net for "Oh Captain, My Captain," Helen Van Dam, to quote a little bit of the Dead Poet Society for you there. But honestly, just super impressed by just the ability for Van Dam to play a consistent 2-way defense for all 60 minutes here, especially coming off of a back-to-back game from last night. Being able to be as dominant on the offensive end as she was tonight, props, my hats are off towards her.
And Cole, just give us a quick little rundown with the standings in the SUNYAC after today's matchup. Just quick little preview.
A quick little preview. We now have only 2 teams who are undefeated left, Plattsburgh and Oswego. Plattsburgh took down Buff State 1-0. It was pretty convincing, but only tagged the goal. Smith beat Potsdam 3-1, and Cortland took out Canton 5-0. So that was a nice rebound from Cortland after their loss last night here.
Yeah, well, Plattsburgh and Oswego, the last two undefeated teams left in the SUNY Conference. Could we see a repeat of last year's championship?
Certainly looks like we might.
Certainly looks like we might. A lot of hockey left to be played. But that is going to do it for us here on WTOP 10. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.